States Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your partners. Our team is deeply rooted in the community, and we take pride in providing personalized service. Come to Southern States Bank. Great service comes naturally. Visit us today or check us out at southernstatesbank.net. Southern States Bank, your community, your bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 410611.
Fishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton. The best chicken around. Fish dinners. Open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone Fried Chicken right next door to their former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A, here in Newton.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bruce Wing, and I'm a counselor that works here in the Metro Atlanta area. I'm offering my services as a counselor. Contact me if you need my services at my website, www.fleur.
What's up, my brother Daniel? Fine. It's good to see you, brother. Ready for some football this weekend. Woohoo!
If you're in need of counseling services, please reach out. We can do in-person.
Agent 206, good morning to you.
Hello, this is Perry Johnson's 2 cents on the economy today. Are we headed for a credit crisis in office buildings? It's very interesting to note that we have somewhere between
Thomas, good morning to you, my brother.
$1 billion of credit that will have to go out to have office buildings refinanced next year. That's a huge amount of money because they were financed at very, very low rates, near zero. And now they'll have to pay very high rates. Yet we have to keep in mind that the banks have to keep their balance sheets very solid.
Woo! Good to see all of you wonderful
Loans of regional banks.
normal people. Dolphins tonight, yes! It's going to be a good one.
That is Perry Johnson's 2 cents on the economy today. For your 2 cents, go to perryjohnson2cents.com and enjoy life.
It's scorching hot out there, friends. The best way to beat the heat is to stay hydrated. And Water Treat in Newton has got you covered with their amazing antioxidant.
What's up, Martin? How you doing, brother?
Swing by for quick and easy drive-through pickup. And check out
Raiders. Thomas is pulling for them Raiders.
Stay cool, stay refreshed, stay healthy with Water Treat in Newton.
Thursday Night Lights tonight. True Crime Thursday. Elizabeth Sorrells joins us in the last hour. We'll talk about another unsolved homicide in small town USA, and we'll talk about some other stuff going on. I'll talk about the 7M cult. I don't know if you guys heard about this. We'll talk about it. Or they're being called a cult. I don't know if they are or not. I can't really say they are. People feel like they are. Raiders suck. That's right. Daniel says Raiders suck. Oh, Thomas. Uh-oh.
Maybe you're looking for veneers. This valuable smiles veneer special includes one free veneer with every 5 purchased. Or get that bright white smile.
Toby, good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon, buddy. How you doing? I have to say all that because I ain't seen you in a while. Woo! $800 million jackpot winner. What? Yeah, we'll talk about it. Just flying high. All right. Whatever makes you feel good. Whatever makes you feel good. Whew, thank goodness all the normals are on now. Usually we get some of those clickbaiters. I mean, not clickbaiters, but those trolls. But thank God all you guys came on first. Woo! Yes, he's right about that. He is right about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's a True Crime Thursday. Plus, we're going to preview Thursday Night Football, get ready for the weekend. Toby Price is on with us this morning saying Cowboys Super Bowl champions. What a prediction there. We've got a few things we're going to talk about on this True Crime Thursday, including the 7M cult. Talk about that next. Yes, I'm RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm your host of the host, the one, the only Ryan O'Neal, and of course, I am the game, whether they like it or not, ladies and germs. That's right. 78,000 plus of you worldwide on that shoutcast, shout it out loud, across that RyanORadio media page. Earth, Rock, Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. There's 25 different radio stations there, real and internet. We're also across 25 different streaming platforms, including iHeartRadio and Amazon Prime. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada. And finally, across 99.1 FM, WQEE the Key, home of Southern Sports, inspirational talk, and more. We're across the YouTube page, the Facebook page. Like, subscribe, and share, and help a brother out. And all to the haters out there, we got this to say to them. Listen up, haters. Tell them, Triple H. Whether they like it or not, I am the man around here. Thank you. Toby says, love you, man. Laugh out loud, Daniel. Daniel says, you are high, Toby. Laugh out loud. Good morning to Daniel. Good morning to Toby. Good morning to Thomas. Raider haters suck. Thomas. There you go. We do have, by the way, Shane is a Raiders fan too. Or Shane B, our movie reviewer. Toby Price. And then Martin's on with us this morning. I mean, that's right, Martin M. I like to call him the elder statesman. Good morning to him, as well as a good early morning to him. Good morning to Agent 206 saying hello to us. And we appreciate all the people that came on. Shoo, feel good. We got all the normals that's kicking it off this morning. And usually on the YouTube, we'll get all my normals, but also sometimes some of those, like Martin like to call them cellar dwellers. And this morning it's been good that didn't start off. I was so start off with the normal folks and no cellar dwellers. They're picking at each other about some football because it's Thursday night football tonight. Dolphins, Bills. We'll talk about some stuff going into the weekend as well. And we got our picks to hit. We picked on Tuesday. Richard and I did. I'll go over them again this morning. And we've got Elizabeth Sorrells. She's coming up in the final period. Unsolved homicide in small town USA over in Peach County, Georgia. This go around, we're going to be talking about Peach County, Georgia. What a peach of a place to be, except for that day and time. Ooh, we'll get into that. Like, subscribe, and share. Help a brother out at $RyanShelander and make a donation to the show to keep it rolling and rolling. And I tell you what, our feed, YouTube feed, is growing and rolling too, and it's getting up there and getting up there. We're just little bit less enough to get that hit those 1,000 marks. Hopefully before the end of the year, I'm hoping for the end of the month we can hit that 1,000 subscribe buttons. But people are subscribing every day, and if some of you are watching us on the feed that are not subscribed yet, and you're still watching the show, you probably not want to get involved with whatever's going on in here, or you may not have time to get involved with the chat. Please go ahead and subscribe anyway. It helps the analytics and the numbers out there on the show. So there you go. Toby says, Daniel, let's bet the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl. If I lose $20 to Ryan and I win $20, you send $20 to Ryan. Okay, y'all got a deal. So now both of you are going to end up somebody. So here's what's going to happen. When we got the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight coming up. You guys already bet on that. So that's $20 I'm getting from that. $20 from the Super Bowl. Man, that's $40 right there. Somebody's sending me $40. And Daniel's like, look, I'm probably going to be the one not sending it to you. He's going to see sitting there laughing. Yeah, it's not going to be me, Ryan. So, okay, Toby, I appreciate that, brother. I really do. I think that Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight's supposed to be coming up in October or November, something like that. So we've been keeping up with it. I know I got it on the Facebook page when it's coming up. I think it's October. They rescheduled it. Or is it this month? It's September. We're almost to the middle of this month. Good God almighty. I feel like September just started. Of course, we did our dedication yesterday to September 11th. And that was my big show for that. I always do that every year and everything. Oh, I know you got the cash ready, Toby. I'm not even worried about it. Both of you do. But you said you already got it ready. Daniel's like, yep, I'm going to win. No, he didn't say that. Guys, I'm just saying that for him. Who you going for? Thomas, who you going for? Who you asking me? I think Jake Paul is a better fighter than his brother Logan Paul. Logan Paul is a great wrestler now, but not sorry. When you badmouth back to Kevin Nash, one of the original NWO members, sorry, Logan Paul, you're not too sweet anymore. But I'm gonna say Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson will bite your ear off. I tell you what, put a little salt on it, bite it off, it'll be tasty, baby. I tell you what, I'm gonna eat both of Logan Paul's ears. They're gonna be both tasty. Yum, yum, yum. Yeah, you're listening to RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm Mike Tyson here. I love it. And you guys gotta love it too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna eat him up. Yeah, come on, I'm gonna eat him right. Mike Tyson sounds a little bit like Mickey Mouse, don't he? But he'll knock your head off. Oh, Lord. Martin says, nah, the Seahawks are gonna win the Super Bowl. Oh, God. What if that did happen, Martin? You'd be like, dang. I knew this year was going to be weird. It's like living in that TV show, Erie, Indiana. But it's Erie, United States. Hey, Ryan, Mike's behind you. What? Dang him, you had me scared there for a minute. Mike Tyson over here. I'll tell you what, boy. Don't be talking about me. Don't you be talking about me. I'll come over there and bite your ear off. And knock your head off. Just ask his ex-wife, Robin Givens, and she'll take. No. Seahawks might be good. Tyson is old. He is powerful, but with age, you become slow. I have to agree with age, you will become slow, but, I've got to still pull for him. So, laugh out loud, Martin have been hanging with Toby. When is the fight? That's a good. Let me look that up. It's about 19 minutes past the hour, and I'm going to look that up exactly. I'm talking about the Zodiac. We'll get into the poll question in a minute. As I'm waiting for that, I might as well get into the poll questions. We wait for this to decide to come up and freeze up on me, even though I've got the better. I'm under a different site. I'm not under Firefly anymore or whatever it's called. Computer just wants to be slow. All right. Which of these best true crime books would you read? Helter Skelter. It's all about, not the song by the Beatles or Motley Crue redid. It's all about Charles Manson. Zodiac Killer. Both of those are 14% of the votes. Columbine is about the school shooting that happened back in the late 90s. So that's 29% of the vote. And any other book is 43% of the vote. I want to get stuff that seemed kind of relevant, ladies and gentlemen. 66 degrees out there in Noonan, 67 in Atlanta, 68 in Auburn, Opelika. Your time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall, we don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Mike and the crew can exterminate and lay a smackdown for you. Oh, man. Hopefully, I don't have to just go back to some of this news over here that this don't freeze up. Come on. Trying to find the date for you. All right, guys. Wow. 20 minutes past the hour again. Putin is rattled because Kamala used his copyright name. money. All right, we're not going to get into that this morning. That was all yesterday. Plus, majority of yesterday was my dedication to those people in on September 11th. All right, I'm bringing it up. The question was, when is this? I got to get Martin his question, when the fight is. Confirmed. It's been rescheduled for Friday, November 15th. It is in November. Friday, November 15th. So there you go, brother. Mike Tyson's going to pop some. He's gonna take some vitamins and then knock Paul out in the first 30 seconds. Let me get some of these vitamins. Knock him out. And then I'm gonna eat it. You're welcome, Martin. I knew I had it in front of me. So there's November 15th when it's going to be rescheduled for the fight between them two. So that's coming up in a couple of months. So we'll get ready for that. And then after that, the Super Bowl's in February. So got a couple of bets online here from our listeners. Thomas says, I got my money on Mike. Be like Mike. Be like Mike. Tyson would always win, Bali. He's the kind of guy to be like, I'm going to eat your ear if you don't like it, buddy. It's tasty, baby. He'll do that to a legendary boxer. What would you think he'd do to somebody that he don't respect? He actually respected the guy he bit his ear off, George Foreman. I like George, and I bit his ear off. What do you think I'd do to somebody I don't like? Think about it. Think about it, guys. Uh-oh. Seems like Daniel's picking against in that fight the one that Bali's bringing up. I'm just going to say, was a butcher. I'm just going to say, Mike Tyson will bite your ear off, buddy. You're listening to RyanORadio Penitentiary. Now here's the news with Ryan O'Neal. If you don't like that, I'll come bite your ear off. All right, Israel airstrikes in a central Gaza school being used to shelter displaced Palestinians, killed more than a dozen people, including 6 U.S. nations workers. The strike happened on Wednesday when the IDF, the Israel Defense Force, saying in a statement that it had conducted a targeted strike on a military operation command and control complex that in the area that formerly served as an Al-Qaeda school. Al-Qaeda school, wow. At least 18 Palestinians, including women and children, were killed in the attack and others were injured. The Gaza Civil Defense Emergency Service said. The UN Agency for the Palestinian Refugees say that 6 of its employees, including the manager of the site, has passed away in the strike, which was the highest death toll it has suffered in a single incident among the nearly 1-year-old war, which is coming up in October. It'll be a 1-year war since Hamas attacked and kidnapped people at a festival a year ago in October. Wow. Other headline news you can read for yourself. $800 million jackpot winner in the Mega Millions ticket sold in Texas. Now we know why Martin or Toby hasn't been on. One of them's won $800 million. Ticket sold in Texas. I don't know who it is. I'm just guessing since they're my Texas listeners. Also, police arrest a man accused of igniting a line fire in California. Also, USDA reports that boarheads outbreak in Virginia of some kind of Listerine thing. I don't know. Anyway. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's some of the headline news, including Pope Francis draws a groundbreaking number of 600,000 people for a mass on Tuesday night. This is in the wake of childbirth. So there you go. Fufu, good morning to you. How you doing? Thank you for being with us. All Toby did was LOL. Okay, Toby, did you win that 800 million, buddy? If you did, you're going to have to share. No more little house for you. No more little house for you. So that is some of the headlines. Also, a Colorado man found dead in the Grand Canyon become the latest hiker to die in the national park. An investigation is underway. No cause of death has been given in that situation. Wow. Those are just some of the headlines. Coming up this morning, period number 2, or throughout the morning, we're going to talk about the 7M cult. You guys, I don't know, I'm checking out the series or the documentary on it. I do know that I've seen these people on Instagram, and the Grand Canyon is dangerous. You're right about that, Bolly. The Grand Canyon is very dangerous. Pope is in Singapore, all Eastern Asian countries right now. Really? Wow. Martin says Pope is satanic. I'm not going to disagree. He said, that's the 411, brother. There's some stuff that's with them that's not very on the up and up for sure on some of their stuff, but that's his opinion. And we put it out there for him. All right. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. 7M cult. It's a dance cult, supposed to be Christian, started by some guy named Robert something. He's got a church, and the guy, his son was going out videography and all these dancing people. They made him join a church, and the series is about a family trying to get one of their daughters back out of this so-called cult. And I'm going to say so-called cult because it hasn't been proved it's a cult. It's got cult-like material, but the worst thing about it is not really brainwashing the person into believing, okay, we're putting you in commercials and car commercials and this and that. And you're dancing to these old songs on the internet and getting all these downloads and followers. None of that. It's the 50% that this preacher's taking from them. He's taking 20% as their agents in the 7M management, and then 30% for the church. So 50% of what they're making. And I'm going to sit here and tell you that stuff happens out there. Yours truly, you know me just like you know me now, but you'd even know me even more if I'd have took up some of those offers a few years ago when I was out there, taking 50% of my pay and, putting me in a place to live. They pay enough to make you pay $2,200 a month for rent, and that's for a nice half of the house. They'll pay you enough to take 50% of it, but then you got to work every day. Hey. But then they make you join their little cults or whatever they are out there. And there's a bunch of little cults. So I'm telling you, I know. I've seen it. I know. So when we talk about this 7M, it's going to be a real deal. 7M, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to pull it up here in just a few moments and talk about it for you guys so you'll understand what it is. If you've seen, all I'm saying is most of you probably don't watch the people dancing online. So, they'll pop up in your feed where there's a couple dancing, and there's a girl named Miranda Derrick. She's a big part of this. No, they're not. They're not Kamala supporters or Trump supporters. Then they're not. It's not politics, dude. They don't give a rat's tail about you. They don't care about any of that. They're not into politics. They don't follow the rules of law that you and me and everybody in here try to follow. They follow their own rules. They utilize the law to their extent where we don't. Nope. He didn't. That's not true. We got to stop being that. That's more false conspiracies. Now, I would be telling you that's true if I'd have said, hey, masters, make me famous and I'll tell Bali what he wants to hear. They'll say, tell him what he wants to hear. Yeah. Changed my profile pic to Kool-Aid Man on Jamestown. I tell you what, let me tell you something. He wasn't the only crazy folk out there. Jim Jones wasn't, but he's just one of the most famous ones, Toby. But I'm gonna tell you about this guy. He's just making money. Anyway, this girl's name Miranda Derrick. Her and I guess her husband or whatever. It's not so bad when you're being told about Christ, right? If you're a Christian, but it is bad when these people are when this so-called preacher is utilizing this to control these people to make money. And so far, I haven't seen any sexual deviancy to this guy. But I think this guy he is originally from Korea. He's no sexual deviancy to this guy, assaults or anything, but he is making money off of all these people. And he's telling them, look, give 20% to your manager, which is me, 30% to the church, 10% here, 10% there, and 10% there, which is up to 50%. So he's getting half of what they make when he gets them in the commercials and stuff. And if you've seen these people, you've probably seen them in passing on your Instagrams. You'll probably be on there and there's something pops up and it's like this little girl dancing and they're like two people dancing together and doing looks like they're doing the same dance or whatever. So, yeah. David Koresh is another one, Toby. That's the only ones we think about. But this guy is smart enough so far to not do anything like that. He's been doing this for years, according to some of the people who are in this documentary. But I'm not saying that this guy is a cult leader because I can't say that. You know, there's no proof like it is with Jones and Koresh because he's not doing anything except for being a businessman and taking money from these people. He's being a typical manager out there, a typical person out there in California and all that makes you famous. Typical. Typical people take all of your money and put you in a place. And if you don't do what they say, you probably end up in the streets. And I don't mean in the sense of, hey, follow me, this, that, and the other. I mean in the sense of, got to get up, you got to work today. Your name is, you signed with me. So we'll talk more about this coming up in just a few moments. It's called 7M. Let me pull this up right quick. I talked a little bit about it a few months ago. Some of the people got out of it. Some people felt like it was a cult, but I don't know if it is. It could be. It's on Netflix. 7M cult documentary. Yep, that's what it is, 7M cult. And I'm not going to say it is or it isn't because that would be me calling them something that they haven't been proved yet. It's not as easy as saying what Jim Jones did was a cult. What that woman that called herself Mother God did was a cult. That stuff, you know. Right now, this guy's been doing this for years. So he obviously hasn't done anything that the other ones have. Must be a little smarter than all them. Okay, he's like, all right, Jim Jones is over here doing this. Let's don't do it like that. David Koresh did it like this. Let's don't. The Scientologists, okay, let's take a little bit of, but let's don't. And I'm not saying Scientologists are. I'm not, just saying. I don't know why my computer's freezing up. Doesn't make sense. 7M cult. And one of the guys went on News Nation to talk about it. No, okay. 7M TikTok cult. I'm sorry. 7M TikTok cult. because they put these dances on TikTok. 7M TikTok cult. Dancing for the devil. But I know the little girl because I've seen her on my page on the Instagram. You know, Instagram always suggests a bunch of different things too, and you'll just see things that you're not even following coming up. And I've seen this girl before, and when I was watching this, I was like, I've seen that girl before. And according to her, this Miranda Derrick, she said that it ruined her life. Robert Israel, his name is Robert Israel Shin, MD. He's a doctor. So that's okay. Now we know why he knew how to control people without. And the 7M Films, if you look them up and go to their websites, guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to their websites, it just has two little things. How to become, it's not even a real don't even look like a good real website. It's like, if you want to dance, sing, or whatever, you can be part of us. Contact, and it's only two little links in there. Hey, Agent 36 is on with us finally. Family members felt like this was a cult. And there was somebody at Atlanta whose son is in it. And it's just like a bunch of young kids in their 20s dancing. You know, they love dance. Not something I'm into, but you heard of 3M. Oh, let's get rid of this.
Tune in so your life can be radically changed forever because God's love and care.
Hi, I'm Dr. Vincent, and I'm a clinical psychologist here in Georgia. Please join us every week, Wednesday from 10 to 11 a.m. here at 99.1 WQEE for our show, Health Happens Tomorrow show, which we talk about.
What is a cult? Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult is what it is. Is the series. Some people say it is, some people say it isn't. I don't know. But they control people's minds. Hey, that's what a cult does. It controls people's minds. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. Which of these true crime books would you read? 17% say Helter Skelter. The Zodiac, about the Zodiac Killer. Both 17% there. And Helter Skelter about Charles Manson's cult. Columbine about the shooting that happened in the late 90s. 17% of the votes and 50% of any other votes. It's a True Crime Thursday. Elizabeth Sorrells joins us in the final period. We'll talk with her about an unsolved homicide in small town USA. Cult is following something blindly. That's what a lot of people do. 7M is a cult, says Agent 36. There you go. See, I was watching a little bit of this Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult on Netflix. Actually, I think I saw the first episode and the second episode. Didn't get to see the third episode yet. But here's the thing. I've seen one of the main people that's the focus behind this, which is a girl named Miranda Derrick. She married her husband, James, and they met through this online thing. James was a part of this Robert Israel Shin, MD's church. His church goes back to a few years where he was kind of doing this and kind of inviting lost people in and all this kind of stuff. And And I'm not saying the dude didn't start off, because I think Jim Jones started off properly trying to preach, but then he got power, and power is what gives people. When people get this power in them, it turns them into something else. Zach, good morning to you, sir. But the same way with this Robert guy, I think he got power because his son was out filming a lot of these people dancing and started making money. So he's like, whoa, I can be a part of this. So he starts up a group called 7M Films, management and everything, talent management company. You go on there, there's really nothing except for the main page, 2 little links, and that's contact. And there's no information on there at all about it. I don't know how I would trust them being my manager. You'd have to really be really young and really think you're going to be something. So the series focuses on allegations made by multiple former clients of 7M and members of his church, an organization established in 1994 with ties to 7M through, of course, Robert. These include the allegations of physical and sexual abuse. They haven't got to that part yet, but they're saying it is, with allegations that 7M and the church took up to 80% of the client's gross pay. Wow, that's even more than I thought. I was saying 50%, but 80% is a lot more. Yeah, they'll do that out there. I'm telling you, there's people promised me some stuff when I was out there. Promised me some stuff, but I wouldn't sell out. The series also covers the life of Miranda Derrick, previously known as Miranda Wilkins, a TikTok dancer and part of the Wilkins sister. Miranda gained several million followers, making videos alongside her sister before being recruited by 7M and joining the church. And Derrick's sister and parents allege that she has been isolated from the family and other dancers over the years. So that is what it's about. All right, let's see. Nothing but trouble. Let me get your comment here before I go back to this. She says, because of course this is about the books, but she says, before Columbine, there was a school shooting in Oregon, Thurston High School. Wow. I have to look that one up and everything. Let's put this here. Good morning, Pete. How you doing? He says, good morning to the Navajo Nation. Everybody else, Sweetly says, good morning to you. Everybody's saying hello from the Navajo Nation and everywhere else as well. We'll get some of that at the end of this hour before we close out the hour and tell you what everybody's saying good morning. But anyway, yes, I was watching this and I am very intrigued because I've seen this girl online and it's popped up in feeds and my Instagram feeds and everything. Her and her husband's popped up in the feeds dancing. You just think by looking at it, it's just a bunch of kids doing a bunch of what young people do. And not professional dancers. You're thinking, all right, and then you find out that they're not TikTok stars because they don't claim to be. They claim to be dancers. They just utilize TikTok and the social media to get them to where they want to get to. And then part of this, I'm feeling like, now, Agent 36, is that what he said? Agent 36 said he said it's a cult. Now, part of this, I'm feeling like people might be jealous that these people are being successful and they're not. But then again, being that I was out there on the West Coast and promises that were made to me that I decided I didn't want to do because I got a real Christian background. And look, it's not anything to do with all the sexual stuff because I'm not even sure if that's even, I think that's just being thrown in there because it's always great to say that kind of stuff, right? Every cult. But I think this guy was just utilizing these people's minds because he's had this since 1994. Hell, Jim Jones didn't last that long. What's his name? Toby just brought him up. Koresh didn't last that long. None of these people last that long. So whatever he's doing to last that long out there was this Robert MD guy, this medical doctor, just became a pastor and a founder of all this. Whatever he's doing, he's got to be utilizing legal rights or something. Coweta County Fair starting tonight looks like it's going to be a washout. It's going to be raining all weekend long. What does a real Christian mean? Follower of Christ, one that does what God does, one that doesn't follow the world, one that doesn't do what the world tells them to do, one that does live in faith, not fear. That's what it is. I have faith, not fear. Like so many people have fear over faith. We'll get in that sometime in the future. But I'm talking about this because this is true crime. Nothing But Trouble says kids were shot and killed. My son was shot. No, I was not amused. He even killed his parents and rigged the bodies of them to blow up when moved. No, really, Nothing But Trouble. Did your son turn out to be, I mean, I know physically, is he all right? Mentally, he's probably still going through stuff. Good Lord, God bless you. In Jesus' name, we pray over Nothing But Trouble's family. I know this happened many years ago, but we pray over the family that continue to heal because of this. In Jesus' name, amen. So you know how it feels to those people that are up in North Georgia, Nothing But Trouble, my sister. Wow. So there you go. There you go. Wow. Anyway, back to this. This is True Crime Thursday. Good morning, Pete Davis. Sweet Leaf, I'll tell and that's from Daniel. I'm going to tell hello from everybody over here, Pete, in just a few moments after the break. But yeah, so I'm not going to sit here and judge it as 100% as a cult, but anytime that you fall into something and you give up your entire life and your family and everything, yeah, it could be. But then again, in this entertainment business, sometimes your family can, and it's just like entertainment and politics and everything out there. Sometimes your families are just not, can be a part of all the stuff that you're going to be doing. And this is a hard business to get into, not in a sense of just talent, because there's a lot of talented people out there in all kinds of things, from acting to music and everything, that never make it in this world. And they give up after high school or whatever, and they go on to get jobs or something like that. But then you go over and you see them. I know there's plenty of guys I know that can play the hell out of the guitar better than Slash. Come on. And I think Slash is a great guitar player for Guns N' Roses, but they just chose a different life. It just wasn't meant for them. But if you're going to go into this life, there's going to be a lot of hardships. And I believe for this girl and her family, there's a lot of hardships. I believe the family felt like they were left behind. They loved her. They loved her boyfriend and everything. And then it's all of a sudden they just cut ties off because this 7M management said to. So go and check it out. It's called The 7M TikTok Cult. It's on Netflix. Nothing But Trouble said her son is okay. He's still messed up by his ear and face are healed. He was shot saving a girl who had the gun aimed at her. Oh man, he was a hero. Tell your son God bless him and thank him for his sacrifice. And he's a great. He is what now. You want to know Bali? You want to know what a follower of Christ is? That's a Christian man right there. That's a Christian man right there, what he did. So there's a good example. Woohoo! Finally getting some thank you for coming in this morning. Nothing But Trouble. Being able to give us your family's background, but being able to be able to say, boom, here's a hero. Here's what a real follower of Christ is. God bless him. Agent 39 says it's not the government's fault. It's the father's fault because the story to be told, someone told the kid that shooting up a school to do it. I don't know if it's true. No, here's the thing. His father didn't trust the government, just like so many people are saying, read false conspiracy theories and books about the government, fiction books about the government. That's going to come get you. The FBI is out to get everybody, out to get somebody that can't even afford to pay their taxes. Yeah, they're out to get somebody who can't afford to pay their taxes. Woohoo! Yeah. And can barely pay for a place to live. They're out to get them. And the boy was already messed up anyway. You could tell in the video. I put the full video of the officers going and meeting with him in May of 2024, the father and the son. Check it out on the Facebook page. It is a complete rundown of the officers interviewing him then, and you could tell the boy wasn't all there, and the father just didn't seem to care. Jesse says, my friend in high school was the best guitar player I'd ever seen. Sadly, he passed in a car accident less than 100 feet away from his driveway. Oh, God, I'm sorry to hear that, Jesse. Good morning, Captain Hot Buns. Jesse, we pray over your friend and family and their family for the loss of your friend many years ago. In Jesus' name, amen. So that's what I'm saying. There's many people out there like that. Good morning, Hot Buns. Bolly says both candidates are at fault. They're only bark, no bite. Randall says, random Bible verse. Nope, not random at all. Never anytime random, Randy. We're going to say a spot right before we go to the break. It's sponsored by our friends at Noonan City Church. Noonan City Church, 17 First Avenue here in the metro Atlanta area in Noonan. 4 services on Sunday, 3 on Sunday morning, 1 on Sunday evening, transforming lives for Jesus' sake. He says, Matthew 16:4, an evil and adulterous generation seeks for a sign, but no sign will be given to it except the sign of Jonah. Jonah was the messenger of God who told a city to repent. Oh, yeah, that's true. We're going to take a break. Back in a moment. It's a good random one, brother. It's got to get funky up in here. You better call somebody's mama. Call your mama, your papa, your sister, your brother, your cousin, Leroy, because it's going to get funky up in here. It's the RyanORadio Penitentiary. I don't mean funky. I mean funky like a monkey, like funky like, not funky when like you take your shoes off. Yeah, I'm talking to you. No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say I'm talking to you there, but I'm not going to name any names. Insert your own name if your feet are funky. Back in a moment. Some people think the government is after them when they haven't done anything. I don't know why. Because they're being told that, Agent 39. Got to be coming after them. If they don't come after them, then they don't feel important. It's just like all these cults make these people feel important and take them away from their families. I mean, we're all important in God's eyes, whether you're Tom Cruise or the guy living on the street. I think it's more fear over faith, too. Oh, you know where your gloves and tape are today? They're on you, aren't they? Random book, random verses, Randy. I tell you what, bringing this girl on, we're bringing today, as always, is a blessing to the families. They will be listening, and they're probably listening now. I don't know if they're listening on here. They're probably listening now on the feed for sure. So it's going to be a good one in the final hour with Elizabeth Sorrells. I don't know. I don't want to know what the ideology of Scientology is. Laugh out loud. The alien's going to come down and cleanse the earth. A lot of people do a lot of selling out, ladies and gentlemen. Just to let you know. Easy Money, what's up, brother? I got to say hello. Do you want to get back on the air? Who gives judgment? Only God gives judgment, not people. But people confuse themselves with everything. It is so secretive, isn't it? Well, they reach out to everybody. I can tell you that.
We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been
They reach out to everybody, especially people in the entertainment business. All I'm going to say. And some people just say, I'm good. I'm good. What's going on? Ryan, nothing much, Easy Money. What's going on with you? What's good with you, brother? Some officers, some people in the entertainment business say, I'm good. People over there at the Scientology world, thank you. Thank you for calling. Alrighty. Alrighty then. I wish I could say the secrets, but I can't. Hey, I know you work for the government. You know what's going on. You can't. It's hard to focus on one of them because there's different conversations going on. Yeah. Hey, that's how we are here. We have different. All right, I guess I'll let all these people and then Easy Money. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. We got True Crime Thursday still to come. More true crime news. We did the whole 7M cult there. We talked about it. We got some other stuff to talk about coming in the next period and get ready for Elizabeth Sorrells in our final period. She and I are going to talk about another unsolved homicide, this time in small town, Georgia, Peach County. What a peach of a place, except for this one time. Probably many times, but this one time. We'll talk about coming up in the final period. Also, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Going out to Easy Money. Join us. Sweetleaf says, what's up there, Pete and everybody? Good morning to Sue, Dave, Mike, Dave, Michael, and them on the other one. Sue, Tim, Bob, and Rodney K on the Navajo Nation. Good morning to DYL. How you doing, my hockey fan? Also going up to Canada, we got Dave, Michael, Helen, Vicky's on with us this morning, and Alice. Good morning and afternoon going to Robert in Australia, Diana in South Wales. Diana in South Wales, and Kiko in Japan. So there you go. We got a lot coming up for you. Well, I don't think anybody can afford to pay you that much, Agent 39. Back in a moment. Stay with us. True Crime Thursday continuing. What's up, Randall? Good morning, inmates. What's up, Road Tide Randall? What's up, brother?
Sharpsburg, Franklin, LaBray. We just got the Artesian. It's like having a full bar in our home. Sounds amazing. It is. With Artesian, everything.
You're right about that. You can't buy the Holy Spirit, Randall. Randy, I mean.
Then all you do is add your choice of liquor, and you get the perfect cocktail in under 30 seconds. Wow, I really need a Artesian. For a limited time,
should you ask Republicans, are they going to implement a mandatory voting like in Australia? I don't know if they're going to do mandatory voting here.
Join the Atlanta Braves A-list season ticket waitlist. A-list members receive the best seats at the lowest prices and discounts on parking, food, and merchandise. Plus, A-listers are guaranteed postseason ticket access and enjoy special events featuring players and alumni. So reserve your spot in line by joining the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, I got a few things to talk about. Yeah, right. Mandatory anything is lame. You got that right, brother.
Today is National Do Something Delicious.
You got that right.
Actually, I just made that up. But you really can't forget to celebrate you. So McDonald's is making it
rid of this one. See what we got here. Now, I want to keep that. I want to get rid of this.
It's like giving yourself a high five while also holding a nice cold drink. There are drinks. There are drinks from McDonald's.
Hey. That.
NBC News Radio.
Mandatory is communism. Yes, indeed.
Viewership numbers show ratings soared for the first debate between Vice President Harris and former President Trump. Liz Warner has details.
Nielsen reports more than 57 million people watched the showdown across the 4 major networks and the 4 cable news channels. That's nearly 10 million more than the initial tally for the June debate between Trump and President Biden.
Toby said, I just smoked a fat. You got to say fatty. I just smoked a fat. We're going to say fatty. Agent 39, that's why I said that because I know it's not going to happen and no one's going to pay me that much. Oh, come on. Give me some secrets. I got to get them out on the air, man. It'll make my show even bigger. It's either that or take some of these people up on their offer to take 50% of me. Favorite kind of cheese? American cheese. No, don't vote. Go find like get fined like Australia. Yeah, they do find them in Australia because I did have an Australian listener tell me that, guys, that they can be fined. You like pepper jack Randy? Yeah, that's good too. I like that one too. They do say that. I love cheddar cheese too. Oh, cheddars, you get real cheddar on top of. Oh, yeah. Now you get me hungry. But yeah, Bolly's right. They do down in Australia find these people. I don't know how much they find them, but one of my listeners was on here telling me a few months back that if you don't vote, you could get in trouble there. I'm like, really? We have a lot of people who don't vote in the United States. I think some of those people don't vote because they don't want to go and get on a jury. Like, I'm going to fuss about all this, but you know what? I just don't want to be called for jury duty. What was a $500 fine? Wow, that is crazy. Oh, yeah, that's a good white cheddar. That what you're talking about there, Randall, is good too.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program.
Yeah, we do go from one extreme to another. It's always one extreme. I don't really like to use the. I know you do, and that's cool. I really get away from the whole far right, far left thing. I just think people who go too far are just crazy. No matter how far they go. How far they go away from whatever they believe is crazy. $500 fine. Jesus Christ. I know us here, man. Watch Washington State University makes good cheese and ice. I'm going to check that out. Yes, they do make good cheese. Wisconsin has some of the best cheese. Wisconsin has some of the best cheese. Idaho's potatoes. Oh, come on, buddy. Love my friends out in Idaho. I have a lot of listeners out there too. No money can make me tell secrets. Well, just be a whistleblower and I can put you on the air. My audience would love it. They're like, told you so. Come on, Agent 39. Come on. Become a whistleblower. Washington grows more spuds than Idaho. Yeah, they do. They do. But all the states are beautiful in the United States to me. All they are. I've been across the, man, this country. Wow.
Hi, I'm Dr. Vincent, and I'm a counselor that works here in the Metro Atlanta area. I'm offering my services as a counselor.
Yeah.
Contact me if
That's
you
not-
need my services at my website, www.flourish2.org, or you can reach me at my number, 470-215-0167.
Yeah, you're right about that, Bali. The extremists are destroying this country. But I live in faith, not fear.
Sun News can be found in your local businesses throughout the area. The best advertising rates. Start your subscription today at epaper.wilcoxnewspaper.com or 334-864-8885. Sun News, Lafayette, and Chambers County, Alabama's only local news source.
Hi, this is Arthur Soriano, asking you to tune into Let Go and Let God every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. right here on WQEE. We help those who are struggling with their faith or have doubts through discussion, inspirational stories,
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Christian music. So tune in to Let Go and Let
They are nationwide. You're right about that, brother.
right here on WQEE.
Oh, we're coming back. True Crime Thursday continues.
This show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
Yes.
Please have quiet on the set.
All right, I came to play, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. It is what is going on, folks. A True Crime Thursday. We got some true crime news we're going to talk about, get you a little update on AEW at the end of the hour. And coming up in the next period, our good friend Elizabeth Sorrells, the author of The Birthday Bash, a book about her brother's unsolved homicide, brings you another unsolved homicide for you to help push a peach of one. We're going to Peach County, Georgia after the top of the hour. South Dakota is another big spud producer. We're talking about spud producers. We're talking about cheddar. We're talking about cheese. I love it. My listeners bringing up some cool stuff. I don't know anything why him, Toby Price says, I love potatoes. Which of these best true crime books would you read? 21% of the votes say Helter Skelter about Charles Manson. The Zodiac Killer, 26% of the votes. The Columbine shooting that happened in the late 90s. These are all books that were wrote, 11% of the votes. And there's other ones with 42% of the votes in those as true crime books. Which ones? Let me know. Let me know. Is there one you could put in the feed that you've read a true crime book? One on Jack the Ripper. There's all kind of books on all of these people, including Jim Jones and David Koresh and everything. Some of these cults out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I hear it in the background there. It is awesome to be with you on a True Crime Thursday. I can't wait for the weekend. I'm ready to sleep in on Saturday. But God, I can't believe we're already halfway through there. More rain in the forecast, though. It's 66 degrees in the metro Atlanta area of Noonan, 67 in Atlanta under rainy skies right now. In Auburn, Opelika, 68 degrees. Rain all weekend long. Is that going to cancel some of the football games for this weekend? We'll have to wait and see. Plus, guys, we got a little football action for you we're going to talk about at the top of the hour. I don't know if mandatory voting is a solution. You're talking about mandatory voting. I don't think mandatory voting is a solution. People should be allowed to do what they want. If we make people do mandatory voting in the United States, then our patriotic people are like, no, that's not right. I don't agree with that person over there voting opposite of me, but I don't agree that you're going to make them vote. See? That's what my patriot would say. But yeah, Well, nothing really happened then. I know that people think it is, but nothing really happened then. Illegals are not supposed to be able to vote. They can't do that. They don't have, what do you call it? IDs. You got to have ID to vote. You got to have an ID to vote. I mean, I just don't want the dead people voting. I don't want Uncle Harry voting after he ain't voted since the Nixon administration. Anyway, let's get back to some other stuff. Celebrities and public figures should show how much they are getting paid to endorse a candidate, I think. Yes, hey, DYL, you're right about that. I don't think any of the news media should endorse them at all whatsoever. I think blaming one side or the other is the cult-like mindset. It really is. We're not going to get into that this morning. Like I said, Tuesday night was an embarrassment as a whole. They've always been that, Randall. They're not Southern, brother. Don't tell them that they're not too bright. Shh, Randall. They think we're not too bright, Randall. They think you boys in there sure do talk like that. They're not too bright. Shh. Don't tell them that, Randall. I don't think they're going to place her in the White House. Now, come on. Taylor Swift. You see, I don't want to get into this because it's not making sense. It's all conspiracy theory again. And like I said, Newsmax and OAN are lying to you. But you don't want to believe that. They sold out to the Scientologists and all these satanic people for 50% of their money. Make me famous and I'll lie. Toby Price says, Taylor Swift's a billionaire. She doesn't care about money. No, she just, there you go. Randall says, I can't see it from my house. I know, right, bro? Let's keep it Southern. That's just the best way to do it. Never had any. Good morning, BK on the air. How you doing, brother? My radio brother from another radio mother. Never had any problem in the South. None of us have. Just like, hey, whatever. We love everybody. We don't like everybody. We love everybody. You do have to get out and vote, though. But it shouldn't be forced. Good morning, BK on the air. My brother from another radio mother. That's right, DYL. You don't become a billionaire by not caring. Just like you don't become a trillionaire by not caring about money. But hey, I guess only the cults out there are the only ones that believe in the money, right? I don't know about all that, Ball. I'm not going to get into that this morning. Let's get into something else. Toby says, DYL, you become a billionaire by having Swiftie fans laugh out loud. I'm not going to talk about Swiftie fans. I'm more scared of them than anybody. Swiftie fans, it wasn't me that said it, was them. Ryan's cool with you. Please don't come and decorate the station in pink. Please don't. That was Toby and DYL. That's their fault. Swiftie fans are army said, oh, yeah. And if you're in it, Good. I didn't say anything. They said it, not me. Yes, I'm throwing you guys under the bus. DYL says, laugh out loud. I would never publicly talk bad about Swifties. Laugh out loud. Yeah. And now DYL's like, yeah, I'm on Ryan's side. I'm not with that. You're right about that. Who's that? Buddha hat? You're right about that. Nope, I'm not. I'm sorry. Let's get into some true crime, which is safer. All right, let's go join a cult, which is safer than talking about a Swiftie. Or Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is the greatest singer of all times. Mr. Taylor Swift plays great football. Oh, Lord. Speaking of that, this is a good one to lead into this first story. I was going to do some sports, but this will be a little bit of sports mixed in with true crime. This is a good one. A former Kansas City Chief fan known as Chief Alcoholic will spend 17 years in federal prison for engaging in 11 armed robberies and attempted armed robberies, stealing up to $874,725 from financial institutions all across 7 states. Oh, so he ripped off the financial institutions and he's going to jail. He's the bad guy. They rip you off, it's all right. You rip them off, you the bad guy. I can't put this guy down. I'm sorry. I mean, first he's a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I'm not messing with them either now that Swifties are over there. What do you think of the Zodiac film? It was a good film. I enjoyed it. And stuff. Thank you for that question, brother. But the 30-year-old, his name is Xavier, will be sentenced on September 5th. Ooh. I know we're not supposed to steal. I'm against stealing too and everything. Don't get me wrong. I'm just joking a little bit about it because he stole it from financial institutions that normally steal your money, take your houses. You die. Grandpa dies. They takes his house from you. Well, there's a lot of stuff here. This guy takes money from everybody. He's the bad guy. All right. Buddha says, I know it mirrored real life in that it didn't reach a proper. Let me put this on. Oh. But man, it was frustrating. Oh, yeah. Climax. Question of the day. Toby says the wife of the president is called the first lady, right? Okay. What do you call the husband if the wife is president? The first mate. I don't know. What is it? Tell us, Toby. The first mate. The first man. First gentleman. Yeah, it's really the first gentleman. Her or B. I don't know. Women going to take over the world. We're going to be in trouble. They're going to strap us up. All right, anyway. First gentleman is actually what it's called for real, Toby. Yep. I thought you were going to make a joke. I thought you were going to turn it into a joke. I need a cowboy hat and smoke horse. No, I don't want that. I thought you were going to turn it into a joke like you do, Toby. Good. He just actually answered the question right. Dadgummit. Buddha says, I don't know what you call him, but he's on Easy Street. I know that's right. Oh, you're too far in space. You're too far out there to have jokes. I thought you were going to give us one of your jokes. Good Lord. Dadgummit. Thank you, dog. Sweet Lee's like, yeah, I was expecting a punchline too from Toby. David in Canada says, Toby always gives us punchlines. Really, first gentleman. That was the real answer, and I was thinking further from that. See, Toby, you're letting down your audience there, buddy. Oh Lord. You hate gentlemen? I hate gentlemen too because they're too nice. All right, coming up here, the Panthers defense lineman Derek Brown is required to have knee surgery, so he's going to be out for the remainder of the season with the Carolina Panthers. Rapper Kendrick Lamar is going to be the Super Bowl halftime show this year. Jordan Love is going to be out after week 1. AEW's in talk with Fox after this beginning up on Friday. Tomorrow, WWE SmackDown will be beginning 3 hours tomorrow, Friday night on USA. Finally moved over. Also, ladies and gentlemen, WWE Raw will return to 3 hours. They went to 2 hours this past Monday for the remainder of the year, but when they get into on Netflix, going back to 3 hours on, what do you call it? Netflix. There you go. I probably won't be watching a lot of this stuff because I got too much stuff to do. Here's one for Daniel and all our football fans out there. NFL Thursday night game of the week. Buffalo takes on Miami. The Dolphins and Buffalo. I think I picked the Dolphins 8:15 tonight in my picks this week. Let me go ahead and see what I did. I did pick the Dolphins, and so did Richard for this game. So we'll give you some more picks tomorrow on the show. Cougars. Hey, well, are you talking about older women, Martin? I have missed a lot of things. Use gentle lady. Laugh out loud, too nice. Trying to imagine him on the White House lawn with a barbecue and an apron. Yep, the kids are coming over, the family's coming over, and a barbecue out. That's a good one. I like that. Yep. It's Memorial Day. Let's have a barbecue out front in his shorts and his Hawaiian shirt there. Pete says, you aren't Toby. What'd you do with Toby? Yeah, what'd you do with Toby? Where's Toby? They didn't came and got him. It was some pod people got him. Okay. Pod people got him. Dolphins are going to win. I say that too, Daniel. I say the Dolphins got this one tonight too in the bag. So there you go. All right, college football also begins tomorrow night. No games tonight. College football Friday the 13th. Well, Kansas State plays host to Arizona. Ooh. We'll get some of that for you tomorrow. Plus, H.D. Reese will join us on Friday the 13th. She'll be our guest tomorrow in the final period. We'll talk some things with her, what's going on with Warrior Defenders. She joins us live. I don't know if it's going to be in the studio or on the phone. She hasn't told me yet, but she'll be with us. Also, ladies and germs, today we got Elizabeth Sorrells in the final period. She's going to be joining us for, how you would say, True Crime Thursday, and another unsolved homicide in small town USA, this time in Peach County, Georgia. We'll talk about that coming up next hour. Well, we got a couple of more true crime news we're going to get through here. Warrior Defenders isn't a man. Nope. Warrior Defenders is women defense at Bali. She's got her own show here, H.D. Reese. Yes. Toby says, out on the South Lawn barbecue, F-22 Raptors flying overhead. What's not American about that? There you go, Toby. I like that. You guys already give me ideas of what I'm going to do when I become president. And everybody's invited. We're going to have a big old party. Real 4th of July party. Gonna get a pool brought out. He says, hey, don't talk about the Noonan Cougars. They are number 2 in the state. East Coweta is number 1. I'm not talking about the Noonan Cougars. Who said that? Yeah. What do you mean, Noonan Cougars? I'm not going to talk about them. I don't want to get, that's another group of people I don't want to make mad around here. Swifties first, Noonan Cougars second. Sorry. The rest of us could just be offended. Pete says, I hope she's not a man. She's my wife. Yep, Pete's old lady, yes. I don't know if I want to call her old lady. She might come in and go, how you doing? Bam! Karate chop. Plus, I'm going to be really nice. I mean, they bought me lunch on Monday. There you go. Oh, somebody's across the hall there. What are y'all doing across the hall there? Before we head into a break, I'm going to tell you about an Arizona man with a talent for basketball tricks. And he did a shot with blindfolded from a distance of 60 feet. His name is Jeremy Ware. He should be in the NBA. He's 32 of Scottsdale, Arizona, and now he's in the Guinness World Records and certified as he did a trick shots blindfolded. What? I know you guys heard of this. This guy needs to be in the NBA. But no, we're not going to put him in the NBA. Don't put him in the NBA. She's younger than me. Yes, she is. She'll kick your butt too there, Pete. She was telling us Monday she was so happy to be back to be beating you up. Oh, yo. Big shout out from Florida. What's up, Mike Hawk? That sounds like a wrestler's name. Sounds like a professional football player's, a basketball player's name. What's up, Mike Hawk? That is a cool name, bro. Thank you for being from Florida. Salute to you. Love Florida, brother. We appreciate you being with us this morning. Martin says, how old are you, Pete? See, Martin's just brave enough to tell you guys he's an elder statesman here at 70. So he's like, hey, I've already told you guys my age. So you go ahead and tell me yours. Oh, Lord. Daniel says, laugh out loud, Pete. I mean that in the best way. Oh, yeah, I'll pick it. Interesting fact, says Toby Price says. Interesting fact. Did you guys know that Willie Nelson was the only known citizen to smoke weed on top of the White House? Civilian to smoke weed on the White House? You didn't hear it from me. That gum Snoop didn't get to go smoke with him. Mike Hawks, salute to you, brother, and thank you. Thank you, Mike, very much. Molly said he loves Florida too. Martin said, that's right, Ryan. Laugh out loud about the age thing. Pete says, I'm 52. She's 25. Laugh out loud. There you go. He's staying on her good side because he knows she can kick butt. Just ask those two dummies she carries around with her all the time. Yep. Back in a moment. Everyone wants to be Willie Nelson. I know, right? Civilian to smoke at the White House. Little you know what. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Back in a moment.
Time check to weather forecast brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those running screws. They're gooey things all. Mike and the crew can exterminate. Latest smackdown for you. 34 Texas.
See, Martin knew you were in the 50s, Pete. You were 50.
Showers by the afternoon. High near 72. Winds east 5 to 10, 15 miles.
Oh, I'm not even going to get a chance to get to this one.
Rain today. Going to an 80% chance of rain tonight with 10 to 20 mile per hour winds coming from east to southeast. Thunder showers are likely. Thunder showers on Friday. Potential heavy rainfall high near 75. East-southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 70% chance of rain. 90% chance of rain for the afternoon going into football Friday night. Showers, thunder showers likely. Potential heavy rainfall. East-southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Low near 68. Rainfall is about an inch. Going up on Saturday, plenty of showers. Thunder showers likely, high near 77, low near 66. That's your active weather forecast. Brought to you by
You are living the life, brother. We're all living the life. Randall said Willie got busted on the highway with a roach. What? In his ashtray. Willie, they don't, no. Everybody knows Willie Nelson smokes, so nobody should arrest him for anything. If you don't know Willie Nelson smokes, then you need to leave him alone. He's the only one that's above that law. He's the only one that's above that law. They're like, why is Willie above that law? It's Willie Nelson. Come on. He's the only man from all the way back in the day that admitted he did that. He's still alive too, right? That tells you something. He's still alive. He didn't drink. He smoked. And he's outlived all of his counterparts. Right now, he's just now barely making it up on stage. And when he does, there you go. The September 15th is this Sunday, 10-year anniversary. Happy anniversary. I'll make sure you put it in tomorrow so we can say it. Really has a strand named after him. There you go. That's right, Randall. Mark knows what you were talking about. That's primo. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm just saying smoking. That way I don't get in trouble. I didn't get a chance to look it up yesterday, the long day. And I'll try to do it this weekend. Today I've got a hour, 2 hours worth of stuff to do after the show to get it over to somebody this afternoon. That's what happens when you got to not only run the show, but also send out the bills to certain people. I have something I got to do for some of our larger accounts, which is going to take me 2 hours. Fun for me. Woo!
Things that can help to make your mental health life better.
Willie is a long life 420 guy. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Willie is a long life 420 guy is all I'm going to say to you guys. That's his favorite day of the year. I don't want to say anything else because it could get me in trouble. You guys say what you want to say in the feed there on it. I will Google that 2611 for you, Polly. I hadn't had a chance. Got a big day ahead of me after I get off the air. I'm just going to, oh, Lord. I'm so ready to go home and take a nap. Yep, a lot of them are his wife, Warrior Defenders. All right, let's jump right back into it, gentlemen. Ladies, boys, girls. We got coming up for you Elizabeth Sorrells in the final period. She's got another unsolved homicide in small town USA. So there you go. Go ahead to our poll question this morning. Which of these best true crime books would you read? 25% say Helter Skelter, the Charles Manson story. Zodiac, 25% of the votes. Columbine, about the shooting that happened in the late 90s. 10% of the votes and 40% for others, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the father of the 14-year-old Georgia shooter believes his son was too gentle, according to grandparents and other parents. This more on this news story coming out. They have, and this is true crime, so we're going to get into it. They have more information. Even trying to speak to the mother, who I think she got in trouble for something, maybe drugs. I don't know. I didn't really dive deeper into that because that could be a part of what made this boy not all there. But yeah, I'm talking about Hurricane Francis in a moment too. But the father of the 14-year-old Georgia shooter believed his son was too gentle, and that's why he bought him an AR-15 style rifle. You guys kept asking why he would do that. Good morning, Patriot. Toughen him up, a relative claims. Colin Gray gave his troubled son the assault rifle for Christmas because he thought he was too gentle and tender, and he was too much of a P word. His mother said that his father would call him the P word and other words such as that. Marcy's his mother's name as well, and she's now speaking to the public about it and everything. So more details are coming out about this guy. Before I dive into any more true crime news, the approaching Hurricane Francis has sparked panic among Louisville residents as its projected path closes in and mirrors that of Hurricane, Ida, which caused extensive damage back in 2021. Hundreds without power. Thank you for the update. Good morning, Patriot. How you doing, brother? So there you go. JonBenet Ramsey's father, John Ramsey, is asking for DNA evidence to be re-examined and analyzed for now that we have the abilities to do so to find who might have did it. Yeah, I had to say P word because you can't say that word on the radio. You're not even supposed to say it on the internet, which they won't be doing that anymore, but you know. So the P word, there you go. So there you go. John Ramsey wants his daughter's remains looked at again. Good morning, Pepper in Virginia. Good morning, all she says. Still got a great guest coming up in the final period. Elizabeth Sorrells joins us in just a few moments. She's going to talk about unsolved homicide in small town USA. Pete says some of those bad men in prison are going to make the father into their girlfriend. Come on over here, Colin. Is that his name? Yeah, Colin. Colin, you sure are great, buddy. I'm putting a little color in you. Oh, that's going to piss him off. That's going to piss his hateful people off, too. Oh, man, the pointy head guys are going to be pissed off because I said that. All right, anyway, that was a good one, Pete. Paige said, yeah, Pete, they will like his man P word. Thank you, Patriot, for being respectful, brother. You always are respectful. My God, guns, and guts guy. Fufu, she's saying good morning to you, Fufu. You better say good morning back to Pep. I'm just kidding. No, you said it to her first, and then she said it back to you. Okay. Good morning, Pepper. So there you go. But I like the whole thing that John Ramsey's looking into this again, too. JonBenet Ramsey's mother, Polly, is the one that some people feel did it. There you go, Fufu. She said, I did say hello, Ryan. Get it right. There was a girl from New York that was on here. I wonder where Audrey's at. She came in yesterday. I think yesterday or the day before yesterday when I was interviewing. But I can't stop my interviews. All right. So let's see what else we got going on. A 36-year-old California man will face life in prison for fatally shooting his friend in 2020 because he thought his girlfriend was having an affair with him. Antonio Chavez Jr. believed his girlfriend was cheating on him with the victim, and he was found guilty of first-degree murder. Chavez was later found out it was not true, and next month he will be sentenced to prison. See what the P word does to you guys? Causes you to go out there and do bad things. The V word. The V word will always control you. Hell to the V. Louis Roseman. I'll look up Louis Roseman. Hey, I'm just talking about this guy shooting his friend because he thought his friend was sleeping with his girlfriend and it wasn't true. I was talking about, the reason I'm saying that for you is just catching up. Colin Gray bought like an AR style rifle that was in the last story for his son. His mother said that the father would call him all kind of names, call him wussy, the P word, sissy, the B word that they use for dogs. So I said the P word. And then we started talking about the P word about him. And then I said, this next story had this guy shoot a guy and kill a guy because he thought he was sleeping with his girlfriend. And I just said that the P word and hell to the V is what caused him to go crazy. That's a crime of passion, says Martin. Mother Nature is strong. The V word and the P word, same one, I think. Get some more coffee, Foo-Foo. And all I'm saying is, hell to the V. It controls you. It controls the best of us. And guys that say, no, it don't control me. No, you're lying. You're lying. Because 36-year-old Antonio Chavez Jr. believed his girlfriend was having an affair with the victim, and he shot the victim and then found out it wasn't true. Now he's going to jail for first-degree murder. Hell to the V, buddy. Now, here's the thing. The girlfriend now got to go out and find her another man. Oh, wow. Oh, my word. Joke of the day. We can finally sleep knowing O.J. Simpson's wife killer is dead. Oh, thinking, finally, he's back. He's back. Woo! Sweetleaf said, finally, he's back. Finally, the Toby Price is back is what Sweetleaf says. If you smell what he's cooking. There you go, Toby. Sue says, good one, laugh. They're all laughing on the Navajo Nation here. Oh, Lord. He's finally back. It took him a little time to wake up. He had to have his morning 420 intake, Sweetleaf. 15 minutes away from the top of the hour. It's currently 66 degrees on a cloudy sky. There's a little bit of rain out there right now. It's raining just a tad bit. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Mike on the crew team, exterminate and lay the smack down for you. All right, let's do one here. I'm gonna do one more true crime news story, and then we'll take a break and close it out. Toby found himself. Yeah, says. There you go. So the real Toby, please stand up. Please stand up. Well, the real Toby, please stand up. And he did. You didn't think you had it in you this morning, Toby, did you? Pedro, so update, my truck needs not a new Cadillac converter, but also 2 manifolds. Not only a new Cadillac converters, but also 2 manifolds. Still cheaper than a new truck. Yes, it is. Way cheaper than a new truck, Patriot. A new Cadillac converters and 2 new manifolds. Well, you probably know the mechanic pretty well, so he's probably gonna work with you. All right, one final one from Michigan. Polly said, Martin, if it really happened. I don't know what really happened. It is raining there, Ryan? Yes, it's raining here. Lightly raining, but it's going to be raining heavy pretty soon. We're getting off of that storm, Francis. What a beep she is. All right, a 50-year-old man, Michigan man, was recently convicted of killing his best friend in 2021 in their home and hiding No, his best friend, his girlfriend is his best friend. Yeah. Killing his girlfriend, his best friend. That's what it's saying. His best friend, his girlfriend in 2021. And they're home and hiding her body. Fleeing with the victim's credit cards, prescription drugs, and her vehicle. Jason Ross took off with all that after he killed her. That was his best friend. He loved her, though. That's what he said. He was found guilty on September 4th for first-degree murder and the killing of 47-year-old Kathleen Hales. Why did he do it? Because he was probably mad at her. I don't know. What's up, Russian Ball? Good morning to you. Yep. That's true crime for you. 50-year-old man by the name of Jason Ross killed 47-year-old, Kathleen Hales, his girlfriend. He killed her, took her credit cards, hit her body, prescription drugs, and took off with her vehicle. So the V didn't control him. I ain't gonna let no V control me. Now he's gonna be somebody's V behind bars. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. I know we're getting rocking this morning. That sounds like that rock song, says Pete. Yeah, it does. Back in a moment. See, ladies, men are crazy. You might want to stay away from them. They'll kill your best friend, they'll kill their best friend, and they'll kill you. Men are crazy there, ladies. And then they say, don't let a woman do anything. She's crazy. I know we talk about crazy women killing too, but I'm just joking around this morning, guys. Trying to lighten the mood. Whew. A lot of people losing their minds behind prescription drugs. Amen, sister. They tell people they tell people drugstore to put prescriptions away before to tell people leaving the drugstore to put prescriptions away before leaving the store because they wait outside. Some of those people wait outside the drugstore to hit up the people. Talking about the pharmacists and stuff. Yeah. So it's hard to get prescription drugs for the people that need them. The people that need them and utilize them properly are the ones that have a hard time getting them. The people that overdose on them or use them all the time, it's easy for them to run around and get them. I don't know how that happens. But you're right, Pepper. Hell to the V. And get up to 100 megs of speed for $29.99 a month. Lock in this price, save for the whole year. Gonna get ready for her coming up. I like to sit down for the interview so I can pay attention to them.
The best way to keep the heat is to stay hydrated. And Water Tree in Newton.
I'm sorry, leaving store. Okay. No, I'm talking about people picking up the prescription, then go inside the store. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. I do know that. There you go. All I need is some good Bud and Jameson. It fixes me all. Patriot, you and our elder statesman get along well. Martin, look at him smiling about it. Fufu said, I told my husband I'll never be divorced again. Told him before we married that his death would be slow. But his death would be slow so I could take care of him. He still married me. Thinking thinking he's crazy. Think he's crazier? Yeah, he's crazier. He's crazier. He married you and you tell me it's going to be a slow, painful death if we do divorce. Poor guy. Good morning, Cher. Thank you for joining us. Everybody's talking about good stuff here. Right quick, we got a couple of things to talk about before we get ready to get into our interview with Elizabeth Sorrells, our guest this morning. MJF last night and Daniel and Garcia came face to face. Their segment was whatever. Okada defeated Kyle Fletcher to keep the Continental Championship. Mark Briscoe gave a hilarious promo before the match. Fletcher's suicide dive looked great. Continue to move forward. Robin takes on Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter wins. Maria May took on Nia Jax, defeated her to keep her title. Pat, Yuta, and Claudio took on Ospreay, Cassidy, and O'Reilly and defeated them. And most notable moments was what they did with John Moxley, why they turned on Bryan Danielson, and Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page has got another match. So there you go. I don't know. Anyway, I guess that was last night, so whatever. They're still doing everything they're doing. All right, here's one I wanted to get into it. Dave Grohl has went to social media and his Instagram page and apologized to his wife and children and says he hopes that they'll forgive him because he has impregnated another woman outside the marriage. Really? You mean somebody else wanted Dave Grohl besides his wife? Oh my goodness. Really? Well, I hope his wife and kids are not hurt by this. He was like, he also got in there saying, please don't say anything this time. Everybody's going through things. Yeah, Dave, everybody's going through things because you decided not to zip your pants up, buddy. Hell to the V again. Rockstar. Somebody who grew up playing the punk rock music and all the music that didn't get the girls, and all of a sudden Foo Fighters ain't getting the girls. Sell out. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up for Ryan. There you go. Thank you very much, Patriot. Like, subscribe, and share for sure. Thank you very much. It's going up. It's working. It's going good. I'm looking at my analytics on everything. But yeah, man, come on. What's going on, peeps? Dave Grohl. Thank you, Martin, for all the thumbs up, brother. Dave Grohl done impregnated a number of women. And I don't want to make fun of his wife or kids, or I don't want to not make fun, but I don't want them to be hurt by me saying this. But, I waited a couple of days later after it happened to talk about it because 9/11 was important yesterday. I mean, a man cheating on a wife is typical bold and beautiful stuff. But anyway, Pepper says, why wouldn't you take every precaution if you're going to cheat to protect yourself and your wife? Men and that pee does drive them insane. That's what I'm saying, Sister Pepper. Control the world. And men say women can't control anything. They can't control their emotions. They couldn't lead anything. Boy, they leading us all around by you. They've been leading us all around, guys. Oh my God. All right, we're gonna take a break. Be back here in a moment. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I am ecstatic happy. I got work to do today. I got to send out one of my big bills, which is going to take me a couple hours to get together. But yeah, Sheriff says, hey, Toby, Martin, Pepper, Pete, Patriot, and Randall. That's right. All the lovely people. If you can't be alone and not be lonely, you walk closer with God, Apostle Paul. Paraphrase. There you go, Patriot. Oh. He says, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Women control men. That was most of my stories today, right? The true crime and the. All right. Well, that one we're doing today, that's in Peach County, Georgia, right?
Yeah. I
All
went
right.
to high school there. I lived here until the 8th grade. And my senior, I moved to Fort Valley. And so, and I was there when this happened.
Wow.
And 38 years later, you know what I do, and I'm looking for this month, but she popped in my head every so often, just her name. And then the other week, you know, I thought, well, I wonder whatever happened. And well, I guess you found out what happened, nothing. So,
Right.
And since I've met her, not face to face, but contact with her daughter,
Right.
who is so ecstatic and grateful that, because she was so young, but at the same time, it's still a picture today. And found that picture of her and her mother, and of course it has her daddy in it too, but I cropped him out because in a lot of ways he too was looked upon as a suspect because of the obvious act that, you know, of what they did to her, and oh well, they're gonna make it look like a robbery. Excuse me. No. So and it is a lot. I mean, well, not a lot that is known, but the beginning, I got it out of the newspaper from there, and there's a book, which I'll mention.
Okay.
It has a chapter. It's a Fort Valley book that the man wrote, but there's chapters, and it is awesome. You know, in the fact that it has pictures and court documents and statements but he's not pointing the finger anywhere. He's just giving you all the information in this book. And it's very informative. I can't read 28 pages, though.
Wow.
So,
it does sound like it's going to be interesting.
You know, what the paper said, what he said, and turn it
Well, I'm glad
I say.
we're doing something in Georgia. I'm glad we're doing something in Georgia.
You know, I mean, Peach County, but I want to help them. You know,
I know, it's good.
Continue to go cold, and it's so obvious they have so much evidence. And so,
Bon Jovi just saved a
I'm
jumper.
going to be reading like me, and when I go to mention the first suspect, I'm going to talk about him for a minute, but then I'm hoping I can get to that point and then have the break and then pick up with the
It is Elizabeth Sorrells.
And nobody was ever indicted, arrested, yes, but never indicted or let go, and that's the end. And the father has since died,
Right.
the husband, you know, the daughter's father. But he was estranged from his daughter, and so I kind of feel, I just asked her, you know, did you ever suspect your father? So, because I did. I mean, back then I'm just 17. I don't know officially nothing about murders, homicides, and all that. I mean, I was supposed to get pregnant with my first baby and have my true love marry me and blah, 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 graduate. But it seared into my brain. It was that horrific. And it is today. If this happens to anybody,
Yeah, true crime.
On CBS, ABC, and NBC News.
True crime, Lady Patriot. Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna try to read this and not get my lines flipped up. I got my big reading glasses on.
Well, there you go. Just do what you got to do.
That's a lot, but it's very informative. Yeah, I learned a whole lot more than I ever knew, and these people need to be at least, well, DNA sample testing these days costs $10,000.
Well, they're going to do that. They're going to do that. They're going to do that with that JonBenet Ramsey. Her father's getting it done up. They're doing that again. They're opening up that case to find out. So,
And you know,
So they're doing all that so that it's easy. Any of this easily can be done. Any of these cases you got can easily be looked into and solved. But a lot of people are just going to be afraid when they do. It's going to be somebody connected to somebody that runs these towns or somebody that everybody likes in that town. And
I am perplexed about the second suspect. Who
right.
instigates the first one? You got a black one that was instigating, you got this white little boy. And,
Right.
Who knows her? You know, he's in the proximity of right there near the convenience store.
Right.
Has blood all over.
JFK, that's right, Randall.
So yeah, I want to bring that in last because I'm going to talk about overkill and what that means because it's obvious here. And
I know, Cheryl. I don't know why.
Evil, the root of evil, is money and power. And though this one is called a robbery, it's not about money. This is more about power. And so he could have had the money and win.
Hello, Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh.
Chickens ain't in there in my dog pen. I mean, it's one thing to have a dog in the chicken pen, but when the chicken wants to get in there with the dog, what do you do?
Hey, hey, whatever. That's what I say.
Country folk have to deal with.
Yeah, that's what country folk have to deal with. Yeah. Us big city folks don't know that.
Just don't name them,
Not if you're going to eat them. Not if you're going to eat them. Don't name them.
Exactly. He gets mad. He goes, don't look at my chicken like that. It's like, but she looks delicious. I said, don't look at it. One of them's Britney Spears. You got chicken soup. You got Betty. There's a foul name. It's beautiful. Shadow. The triplet with feather feet. Yeah, we have about 20 of them. They're technically not our chickens, but they live here with us. Like I said, they would be tasty. Don't tell my husband that.
Ooh, I won't tell him. I know he loves this. I know he loves it.
They go around the neighborhood like little children begging for food. Anyone comes out, here they come. What you got? Yeah, neighborhood chicken in our yard. Boy, I worked hard on this one. If I can just spark, just do a little spark or a little light, enough just to catch it afire a little bit. That's all I can do. And please, Tanya, I'm hoping, I gave her the resources to listen. I don't know per se if she's comfortable with the details. They're pretty graphic when I get down to
Cucumber.
The statement that the final truth I'm going to say, in my opinion, is the person who did it. I cannot find him, dead or alive. Found him in school, some pictures. Found me in the pictures too in the same annual, so that was hilarious. I thought those things had been destroyed long ago.
Right.
I am in the 9th grade.
All right. Well, we got a couple of minutes. We're getting ready to go on here in just a minute or two.
I'm ready.
All right.
And I'm a counselor that works here in the Metro Atlanta area. I'm offering my services as a counselor. Contact me if you need my services at my website, www.flourish2.org. Then you can reach me at my
Martin D was on yesterday, Pepper.
215-0167. If you're in need of counseling,
He was not on today. He must have got some work to do. He's a lawyer.
We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all our information is available on our website at www.cavitaflourish.org or find us on Facebook. Active Pest Control offers the best services and prices that protect your home, offering both monthly and quarterly pest control services, plus specific services like
Oops, I hit the wrong thing. Sorry about that, Captain Hot Buns.
Thanks for listening to Braves Country right here on the key. You can catch Braves Country on Braves Country HD. Find us on YouTube.
You getting wildfire smoke from California, Cher? Wow.
You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, the key in Union.
Wow.
The views of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. Good morning, Captain Hot Buns is with us. We've got to say hello to him. Hey, everybody listening up here. Coming up this hour, we've got 78,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast Shout Out Loud across the RyanORadio media page. 25 different streaming sites, including iHeart and Amazon Prime. We're also across the British Columbia Isles of Canada. Finally across, of course, the Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. And we're across the 99.1 FM, WQEE the Key, home of Southern Sports, inspirational talk, and real news talk. Also, this is going out to you. Listen up. It's about 7 minutes past the hour, and it's under kind of cloudy, rainy skies at the real light rain going on, 66 degrees in Noonan. Flood watch in effect for the area. Be on the lookout for that if you're out there. All right, our guest this morning, she is the author of The Birthday Bash, a book about her brother's unsolved homicide. And she always, every month with us, joins us for, of course, our unsolved homicide in small town USA, usually in Alabama, but this morning we're going to cross the border and go into Georgia. Please welcome the one, the only, our good friend on the air with us, Elizabeth Sorrells. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Ryan. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate having you as always, and we're going to get into this story here in just a few moments. And I know that we're getting close to, I can't believe it's already September 12th, and we're mid-month, and it's almost time to start doing all that shopping for Thanksgiving and everything. And Pepper from Virginia says, hello, Elizabeth. So there you go.
Oh.
So there you go. They're saying hello to you. All right. Well, Elizabeth, as always, we always talk about some unsolved homicide in small town USA where everybody knows their name. They know their mama and them, but they don't know who did it. Now, you got one out of Peach County, which is a peach of a county out of Georgia. But this one, I didn't know this about you till now, till you sent this over. I didn't know. And Cher from Iowa says hello, Elizabeth, as well. I didn't know that you lived there for a little bit.
I did. Of course, born and raised right here in Chambers, but we moved into my 8th grade year to Peach County, and I attended the Fort Valley High School there and graduated from there. And so I was a junior, 17, when our 19-year-old victim was brutally murdered. And it fits into my brain. I mean, like I was saying, I was 17. I had no knowledge of crimes, and all that was way before then. But now I know what I know. I assumed it would be solved, and
right.
name popped in my head again. I looked, and it blown me away how this horrific thing just has not been solved. It has so many ways of solving it, but it just seems to have been thrown away. And her daughter spent her life without her mother, and she to this second is so grateful just to get it out, just to let people hear the story and maybe give her hope that they can bring her a closure, give her some answer to something. And there's so much to tell you, and I want to get as much of it in as I can. And
Let's do it.
I'm going to dive into the deep end of the pool and start swimming like I'm in the Olympics. And you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. My information has been obtained from the Leader Tribune newspaper in Fort Valley, and there's a book called received by the police dispatcher at 7:20 a.m., and the customer informed that he saw a lady lying on the floor who was very bloody. Corporal Howard Wood of the Fort Valley PD in his incident report stated he arrived at 7:26 a.m. He found Denise lying in a pool of blood about her head. She was still alive, but barely. Her face was covered in blood and her hair was matted with blood. She had a network of puncture marks covering her back. A hammer lay near Denise's head, and a potato hoe lay between her and the bathroom door. He found the cash register and the money drawer that was kept under the counter, both open. Some change remained, but he noted no paper money. Around 2:35 was reported taken. EMTs from the Peach County Hospital arrived within minutes and realized Denise shouldn't still be alive and that quick action was necessary. They administered emergency aid to her on the spot and then transported her to the Peach County Hospital, where she had emergency surgery for a punctured lung. She was then transported on the same day to the Medical Center of Central Georgia in Macon and admitted at 2:26 p.m., where she was seen by a neurosurgeon who performed emergency surgery to remove skull fragments from her brain, which were results of heavy hammer blows to her head. The crime scene was thick with authorities, and soon a manhunt had begun. Officers with bloodhounds from Houston County arrived and began searching the area, combing a radius of 2.5 miles from the pump house. Detective Captain Gary Trawick and Lieutenant Jerry Strickland of Fort Valley PD, both certified as crime scene investigators, took control of the scene. Detective Trawick stated that over 100 pieces of evidence, including fingerprints, blood samples, and hair fibers, were collected at the crime over a 24-hour period. Also bagged as evidence were a knife handle and a blade found in the restroom, and the bent-up garden hoe and a claw hammer found next to Denise's body. All the evidence gathered was sent to the crime lab in Atlanta for processing. The GBI, also on the scene, made an incident report. The victim was found about 7:30 a.m., had been beaten with a claw hammer and a hoe, was found laying in a pool of blood by customers who came to the store to buy gas. The report stated the cash register was empty with $173 taken, except for a $1 bill that would have triggered the surveillance camera. This conflicts with the police report, which stated there was no paper money.
Right.
And that they had 200. So they're already getting a little discrepancy there. But the chief deputy of Peach County Sheriff's Department, who was also on scene, would explain the surveillance camera, which used a Polaroid film, had not been loaded with film, so consequently no pictures would have been available of the attack. Denise was lying in the aisle near the beer and drink coolers and in proximity to the restroom, which indicated that part of the assault occurred in the restroom, where a bloody handprint was found just above the light switch. Also, the lid had been knocked off the commode. After knocking Denise unconscious, the assailant emptied the cash register and money drawer and fled the scene, obviously wearing bloody clothes and shoes. Blood was all over the floor, all over the ceiling, all over the merchandise. The keys to the store were found under the candy counter. It was quickly discovered that Officer Robinson of the Fort Valley PD was the last to see her alive, minutes before her attack. The pump house would have an attendant arrive around 6 a.m., but the business didn't open until 7 a.m. Denise was at work by 6, as usual. Officer Robinson patrolled on the US 431 highway as he's making his early morning rounds. He drove past the pump house and observed the lights run, but he didn't see the clerk inside. This troubled him, and he turned around to go back, and once he arrived, he still didn't see anyone. He parked and he began to exit his cruiser. Denise stood up and left near the drink cooler and waved at him to indicate she was okay. Officer Robinson went back, got back into his car, and took continued his patrol along the highway toward town. This interchange between Officer Robinson and Denise was around 6:30 p.m. After the savage attack, Officer Robinson was quoted as saying, "This was not a normal murder. Someone had it in for her." Did not believe that robbery was a motive. This was not a normal killing, said Robinson. She was killed deliberately. Someone had it in for her. So this brutal homicide occurred between 6:30 and 7 a.m. Denise remained comatose for 6 days. The day after the vicious attack, January 2nd, her condition improved somewhat. She briefly regained some consciousness and squeezed the hands of her family members to affirm that she recognized and loved them. She was unable struggled, however, to talk or identify her assailant. She didn't improve and had to be placed on life support by Saturday night, January 4th. On Monday, January 6th, Denise was clinging to life for 6 days, was declared clinically dead. Her family made the decision Tuesday, January 7th, to withdraw life support before the day dawned. The community was shocked with the brutality of the crime. Denise was a precious young lady, loved and respected by all. Local citizens wanted the perpetrator of the crime apprehended and justice served. Donations were made. $4,800 reward was offered to be paid to anyone providing information. Statements had been given to the police in reference to the day and hours leading up to her attack. Her husband, Bruce, disclosed that he and Denise didn't go to the New Year's party that night before and that Denise went to bed early. He volunteered that there was no argument the night before. Bruce was also an employee of Bobby Hester, like Denise was.
Mm-hmm.
Hester owned 3 convenience stores in Fort Valley, and Bruce was employed at one of the other convenience stores. He disclosed that Denise's store opening routine would involve first checking the cooler to see what beer brands needed restocking and to keep the door locked until a customer came up. If it was still dark, she would let the customer in and relock the door after the customer exited. Bruce explained that Denise's older sister, Sharon, who lived with them, was up and kept their daughter, Tanya, while he took Denise to work. He explained he and Denise left the house about 5:50. He arrived around 6. He observed her going in and hanging her purse on the chair behind the counter. He didn't see any cars in the parking lot or even on the street, and he returned back home. Sharon's sister, Denise's sister, Sharon, in her volunteer statement, that there was no party or other type celebration going on in the house New Year's Eve. She said she went to bed around 10:30, rose by 5:30. New Year's Day, she heard Denise and Bruce leave the house. Sharon explained she left the home around 6:40 to go to her employment, but the grocery store wasn't open yet, so she returned home after 7. Bruce was in the bed asleep, but she couldn't recall if he was back home at 6:40 when she left for work.
Right.
Sharon described family life between Bruce and Denise as very good, did not believe that either was running around or having extramarital affairs. The 2 sisters were up together that fateful morning, both getting ready for work. Denise was wearing a brown silk shirt, blue jeans, tennis shoes, and a brown sweater. She looked so pretty, and I told her so. She also explained that Denise would not open the door before 7 a.m. unless she knew who was coming in.
Right.
From all indications, then, someone Denise knew entered the store and killed her.
Wow.
There's 3 more people that were renting at Bruce's house, though, and all 3 of them would say there was no fight, no argument. They all knew that they knew of. All 3 would say they were asleep that morning until the 7:35 call when the phone rang, notifying Bruce that the pump house had been robbed. A few weeks later, though, January 23rd, one of the 3 witnesses stated to police that Bruce was planning on leaving Fort Valley for 2 or 3 weeks. But after only 3 days, Bruce came back and announced everyone had to move, that Bruce started a new job in America. February 20th, the GBI agent and chief deputy Fort Valley sheriff paid Bruce a visit at his brother's home in Albany, where he was living. He was asked bluntly why he moved so quickly after Denise's death. He replied that every time he'd go to the pump house, he'd have visions of her laying on the floor. He also stated that he needed someone to help raise their child, Tanya, and that he had more family in Albany than in Fort Valley. He also told them he left because of the numerous rumors that were flying around Fort Valley. The owner of that pump house would state that even though a clerk opened the store at 6 a.m., they would not open the door for regular business until 7 and would use that hour to restock the beer and treat coolers. Evidently, that's what Denise was doing at the time. The owner said he recalled seeing an open case of beer on the floor near the cooler when he arrived at the crime scene. He also recalled a pint of chocolate milk sitting on the counter at the cash register. That seemed strange. I don't believe Denise drank chocolate milk. The hoe used as a weapon was kept in the storage room at the back of the store. This is a fact that the average customer would not have known. Only someone familiar with the store would have known the location of the hoe. The hammer used to deliver the fatal blows was kept under the counter near the cash register. Since Denise had been robbed twice at the pump house the previous year, she tried to force Denise to the bathroom and rape her, accounting for the lid being knocked off the commode and the bloody handprint on the bathroom wall. Based upon the struggle moving from the front to the back of the store, its duration, it's obvious that Denise fiercely defended herself and seriously tested the will of the assailant. Though she'd been stabbed over 50 plus times and
Wow.
struck in the head with a number of times with a hammer, she fought her attacker enough to inflict some damage herself. All three weapons had been used on her savagely, enough to break the knife, bend the metal prongs on the hoe. The lead investigator openly remarked that the violence of the case did not fit the classic mold of a convenience store robbery.
Nope.
Multiple stab wounds from two separate weapons used well beyond the amount necessary to cause death indicate a frenzy, highly emotional killer. This is the classic overkill.
It
Seeing
is.
the number of inflicted injuries greatly surpassed
like a
the number of
movie.
fatal ones. This went beyond what was needed to incapacitate this victim. Highly suggests Denise knew her perpetrator. In 99% of all overkill cases, the perpetrator knows the victim. Also, with so much damage to her head and
True.
face, it's more evidence of a personal attack. Facial battery is common to spontaneous domestic homicides, and sharp force trauma, blunt force trauma is indicative of a domestic homicide. Perpetrators who overkill aim to have complete control and domination over their victim, which, in my opinion, describes the ambitions of a rapist. So,
Wow.
you know, let's see what page we're on here. We're going though. Here we go. We're near about one of the ones that was accused the day after the robbery. Witnesses gave authorities description, and a sketch was made depicting a black man with a mustache, short beard, stealing innocent eyes. The sketch resembled a man who was seen in the area driving a red van bearing an expired Dade County temporary tag. Detectives were quoted as saying the sketch closely matched the features of Willie Neal of Miami, Florida, who drove a red Blazer and at that time was staying in Fort Valley at the Fiesta Motel on US 431, down the road from the pump house. On January 13, a warrant was issued and they went to Miami to gather physical evidence for Mr. Willie. He worked for the city of Miami as a heavy equipment maintenance worker, and he submitted voluntarily to question, allowed the investigators to take his fingerprints, collect blood and hair samples. In his written statement, he arrived in Fort Valley on New Year's Eve, December 31st, around 8 p.m. He went to his girlfriend's mother's house. They stayed till 10:30. That same night, he and his girlfriend attended church.
Mm-hmm.
That's around 12:30 to 1 a.m., New Year's Day. They rode around, and then he took her home. He drove to Perry to get him some Gatorade and cigarettes, and he says he tried to buy beer. They wouldn't sell it to him. So he went back to his motel and went to sleep. He got up that morning on January 1st. He went to the motel office, paid for another day. He returned to his room and watched TV until around noon and went to his girlfriend's house. And they spent the day together. The next night at the motel, they visited some Fort Valley State College people, and he was gone the next day. So,
Wow.
That's basically where it ends with him. And up until this fella here, 2 months later, Ronnie Jerome Smith, a resident of Fort Valley, was arrested for attempting a car burglary in Perry and incarcerated in Perry City Jail. Ronnie indicated to the arresting officer that he had information on the assault at the pump house. Detectives at Fort Valley were notified. Ronnie would give 8 separate statements and written, tape, video, a walkthrough of the crime scene. His statements would put him directly in the pump house, witnessing the attack, putting his hands on the weapons, the victim, being covered in blood, leaving the scene, destroying the clothes that he was wearing. It really just ticks me off about him.
Right.
And he says it was Willie Neal. So they put a warrant out and went back down in March and arrested Willie. Willie, but he comes back, he's in jail for, a week or so, and lab tests failed to link Willie to the crime scene.
Right.
And for all those, tests, the case was dismissed on Willie, and this fact that there was all dismissed without a hearing certainly surprised the Fort Valley PD.
Wow.
Willie returned to his home, and he would sue the city later and win a settlement.
Okay.
So, Ronnie Smith would also be charged with the murder of Denise. I'll read the last statement recorded. I don't have to convince them, but I'm just wanting you to hear what he's saying. Smith would add more details and progressively involve himself in the crime scene every time he gave his testimony. The cop said he would hesitate, saying the reason he couldn't get it out was that his conscience was bothering him from telling the truth. His statements tell me personally he left the scene, covered in blood, destroyed evidence, concealed the homicide after the fact. This is part of his statement. He witnessed the assault. He'd known Denise from school inside the pump house. He saw the killer face to face, quoted it saying the assailant was a black man. He'd gone to the pump house that morning and Denise admitted him. He asked for a quart of beer, which she consented to let him have, and he asked if he'd go to the restroom. Another statement. Ronnie stated that Denise was hit with a side of the hammer and not the front part. He pointed to the area behind police ferry officer's head on the right ear and located the last blow with the hammer. Ronnie then stated he took the jacket, this would be Denise's jacket, he took off the crime scene, put it on his clothes so that when he left, no one would see it. He went to his girlfriend's grandmother's house, which happens to be behind the pump house, to wash the blood off his hands. Went to his mother's house, which is within a 2.5-mile radius of the crime scene, burned the clothes, washed more of the blood off of him, gave away more things. He explained that the bloody handprint on the wall was his hand, and it was Denise's blood. This is him talking. I walked up to the store and I knocked at the glass door. Denise noticed me and she opened the door. I asked her for a free quart of beer. She agreed. She said she would give it to me. After that, I said, Denise, can I use the restroom? She said, yeah. She said she'd have the beer bag by the time I'd gotten out. She walked back and finished stocking the cooler. I was walking back and I seen this guy coming toward the store. After going to the bathroom, I heard the door open and somebody come in. I heard him say, where's the money? I heard Denise reply that she didn't have any money. I heard him hitting on her a couple of times. After I finished using the restroom, I opened the door and I seen him hit her with his left hand. He had a hammer in his right hand. They started tussling for a second. Then I heard Denise say, Ronnie, help me. The guy had his back toward the bathroom and I looked in the back and I grabbed the hoe. After I grabbed it, I hit him over the overhand swing. He turned around and hit me in the ribs real hard. It was enough to knock the wind out of me, and I dropped the hoe. He hit Denise with a hammer a couple of times, still holding my side, because it's hurting. That time, Denise was back to support me.
Wow.
Yeah, he grabbed her. After that, I hit him with my fist, missing her, because I had to reach over her to do it. Denise began bleeding real bad from her head. At that point, they backed up the bathroom. After going to the bathroom, he hit her once more. I then put my hand on Denise's hand. I grabbed the bathroom door with my left hand, put my right hand on the wall, and I ran outside. Denise had started to come out of the bathroom, and I seen him hit her again with a hammer. At that time, he made it to the cooler. After dropping the hammer, he picked up the hoe, knowing he was hitting her. I seen the hoe going up in the air a few times, like short strokes, like he was bending over.
Oh my
After
God.
that, I seen him drop the hoe and then go back and get the
This
hammer.
is terrible.
And I seen him kneel down. At that point, I don't know what he was doing. I decided to want to go back and help. I didn't go in. I just leaned over and peeked in the glass window, and I seen him hit her in the face and the head and the cranial above the right side of the face. He hit her so hard, I had to leave the window. He hit her the last time with the hammer sideways on top of the skull. He hit her so hard, blood just started squirting and running everywhere. And I was just kind of like in a state of shock. I didn't know what to do. Then I said to him, hey, damn, man, why'd you do something like that? After that, the man rested for a minute or two. Then he got up and he ran out and he come after me. He came out and he ran behind the pump house. I had spots of blood on my shirt, so I still wanted to call somebody. If I knew somebody, I'd think I did it. So I just ran around my friend's house. At that time, I had a little bit of blood on my hands, very little. And then I went to a faucet inside the house, washed it off. I went back inside the road, stood up. I got my jacket off the porch so that, no one would see the red blood all over me. My girlfriend and I went back over to my mama's house. I got into the house and about 8. When I got there, I'd taken my shirt off and changed, took it outside and burned it. After I came back inside, my sister asked me, had I heard what happened? I was a minute before I said anything. Then she explained to me what happened at the pump house. I told her I was glad she wasn't working at that time. Then my I had anything to do with this. I replied, no, quite a few times. Then I wonder, why didn't I just turn around and help? Why didn't I just call somebody to help her? You know?
Wow.
To me, his statements are smoke screens, attempts to communicate, and a way to deal with his own guilt by concealing confusion, misleading information. He seems to be talking openly and with a calmness describing this horrific.
I know.
What he saw. He was released June 1986 on bond when a judge ruled that there was insufficient evidence for the prosecution to continue opposition to the bond. Ronnie returned to his fast food restaurant job and maintained his innocence. His attorney indicating that he's planning to file a motion for dismissal of the case, and apparently that's what he did because there's no court records that show record that Smith was ever indicted. 38 years later, the murder remains unsolved. Though forensic evidence is still available, as far as I can tell, this case isn't even listed on the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's unsolved homicide page. And this case needs to be revisited.
It definitely does. It sounds like a horror movie.
So, maybe send some evidence that they have. It'd be back, I believe, in Fort Valley hands. The evidence.
Right.
How evidence is. After so many years, things happen. Things get tossed or destroyed or lost.
Yep, well, that's what it does.
But there is places that you definitely can send it. I mean, there's the innovative forensic investigators in Virginia. There's the Gene by Gene laboratories in Texas, and also the Orphans Laboratory. Though their tests are like $10,000 per sample, that kind of like, whoa, that might be why some of these cases can't be solved. And I'm thinking I should figure out a way to fix that, but I haven't quite got to that yet. So I know it's allowed to be a niece would be 58 today, and I know she'd be a grandmother. No human should die so horrifically yet. For 38 years now, her killer has walked freely among us. Her family continues to carry this burden. Denise was face to face with what we know to be true evil. True evil can only be known by the person being hurt by another person. That they understand evil in a way that, when someone's trying to hurt something for nothing, and that's evil. And she's staring it in the face. She's fighting it. She's inflicting damage. And she's being, I don't know if you know what a potato hoe looks like, but that's not an easy tool to bend.
No.
The prongs are bent. In the book that I mentioned earlier, that echoes from the valley. It shows these pictures of the weapons. It shows the crime scene pictures. It shows the cash register open with a $1 bill in it. It's so in depth and detailed. I couldn't give you all of what it said, but it's very enlightening, and I'm proud that Mr. Bold wrote that. And because other than that, the newspaper accounts, there's nothing.
Wow.
You can look it up online. You'll find a Billy Bowles thing, where he's writing about it. That's it. So she knew who was deliberately desiring to make her suffer, die, rob the place. But it's obvious. Denise was the true target of this crime. This assailant desired spending time inflicting terminal damage to young Denise. Bloody vengeance, her perpetrator that early morning set out to once and for all gain complete control and domination of her, and she finally realized it. Root causes of evil, money and power. For this particular robbery, though, power would seem to be the primary mission. So it just seems like to me, in this day and age, and I'm in the ancestry state of thanks, I'm proud of it.
Right.
I thought I had no family. It turns out I got houses to cushion, and I hope that they can use that to go after a killer. I'm all for it. Some people don't like that because they don't want things uncovered or the truth known.
The question.
The dad.
I got a question for you. And like Cher says, the guy supposedly didn't know the evidently didn't know the person. Did he give a description of the person, or was it just I saw somebody? Did he give a
I think
description?
he literally saw probably Willie Neal, who it's obvious it's easier, especially back in the 80s. It's a different time frame. The crime is worse, really bad back then. And so it's just difficult to imagine that somebody from the local hometown could do this to one of its precious own. Who would do that? It's unheard. It had to have been some crazed outsider from way over there.
Right.
Just come in here and I'm okay. He mentioned his sister. So his sister's working there. Mr. Hester he was I think a commissioner at one time. He was owning the business. He was a real good guy.
Right.
But I think he was, Ronnie, not Ronnie, but Bruce, the husband.
Mm-hmm.
It made him look really bad. And to be honest, until I looked at this again, he was the one. I couldn't foresee anyone but someone that was excruciatingly angry and close to her to do that.
Right.
That's something I knew back then. So,
right.
And this guy that his girlfriend's grandmother's house is less than 200 yards behind the pump house.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Right here. It's just right around the block, right there.
Yep.
Almost right there. And then you talked about the bloodhounds. They followed a blood trail all the way here, and then all the way down. Where he lived is called Beach Street, 126. Look that up, and it's within less than a mile. So the bloodhounds are going on his blood trail. He even said, I had blood all over me. To me, it's obvious. Here we go. This is what I wrote. The star witness who puts himself on the scene with their hands on the weapon, trying to save the victim.
Supposedly.
To provide these graphic details and then blame a patsy to save their own feet. That's funny because my brother died being beat to death by people who knew him, and the star witness is saying everything. I grabbed the handle away from him. I tried to save him. The blood all over me. Oh well, I guess when I was getting the murder weapon that they were using on your little brother's head, I must have kicked him in the head accidentally.
Right.
A shoe.
Right.
And thank you. See what I'm saying? This guy's covered in the blood of the victim.
Yes, he is.
And if you seriously think that anybody, even a complete stranger, wouldn't have called, these guys getting their gas. They see the lights on. The door's open. He goes in. He's standing at the counter. Can't see anything. Turns around, and the whole aisle is smitten in blood all the way on the walls, on the ceilings, the merchandise. And this girl is not moving. She's, obviously hurt.
Right.
But that man could sit there and watch that.
It doesn't make sense.
When I went to the bathroom, I heard him come in. I heard him hitting her. And when I finished using the bathroom, what? You do look him up and he's being an annual. To me, he could have been a football player himself. So,
he could have helped. Yeah.
I knew her from things. She's going to give me free beer. I said, Denise, can I use the restroom? Why are you even talking to her like that? Can you say, girl, can I use the restroom? But no, he's overextending what he's saying, and it's obvious. I mean, my brother's killer bragged about it. He wore his hat around as a trophy. They're proud of it. They've done a big thing here. But at the same time, I didn't do it. And I know I had all the blood on me, and I didn't help her. I watched her being murdered. He hit me in the side. Oh, and he hit her in the head with a hammer. Okay, that makes no sense. She's getting walloped and stabbed, beaten, and he gets a little whip in his chest. I mean, ow, ouchie. And as you run out of the store and watch this man outside, I went to the damn payphone. Sorry, get me all in here. I'm going to take this coat off.
Yeah, there you go.
It upsets me that back then, and even to this day, I can't understand that this guy needs to be resubmitted again. That's all I can say on this one, because he says more about it than any anyone else.
Yeah, he knows more about it. It seems like he does for sure.
He knows, and then he tries to blame a guy from out of town because he did probably see, Neal was probably even stopped in there when the place was open, but he's not from here. He's visiting his girlfriend. He lives in Miami.
Right.
So, yeah, he's going to come up here and in between visiting his grandmother, his girlfriend, going to church and taking her out and having a good time. He had to go heal her, then get back and pay for his motel room. I mean, really?
And wash all of his clothes, yeah.
The audacity of the top to even believe his story. He's carrying him through that last statement, and he's literally walking him through the crime scene.
Yeah, I know. Well, wow, that was another one that we definitely need to hear, and it just sounded like, to me, it sounded like a horror movie come to life, and worse than a horror movie. Well, as always, tell us how we can follow you and all that good stuff, and how we can go on and be part of the homicide victim page.
Okay, well, I'm on Facebook, Elizabeth May Sorrells, and there's the Chambers County Homicide Survivor page. It's a private group, but if you want to come in and be on the page, you can be allowed.
Right.
You can get my book online and type in the birthday bash, Elizabeth Sorrells. You can email me at thebirthdaybash@yahoo.com, and I can send you a book or whatever. Message me, and I'd be proud for you to read it.
Definitely so.
I'm very proud that I had this opportunity for Denise, and that all of y'all are going to be thinking about her today. I think that helps her family.
For sure.
Does have a brother and a sister, a daughter with 2 daughters, and so and Tanya to this day still she's my children's age. So Tanya literally is my daughter's age, and so it's kind of I adopt these children.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 50-year-old adopted children all the way down to 6 months old, and Miss Tanya is now kind of always going to be part of my heart.
Definitely so. We definitely keep her in our prayers. Thank you, and we'll keep them in our prayers for sure. Guys, we're going to take a break, come back, and close out the show after this in just a few moments. We're going to let Elizabeth out on good behavior. Have a good day, Elizabeth.
Thank y'all. Bye.
Bye. All right, back in a moment. All right, that was a good one as always. That was a good one as always. I don't know what's going on. Somebody's trying to call over you. Hold on. All right, that was good. My goodness. I'm about tired of those con artists calling 24/7.
Interviews, music, trivia, and much more. Listen to Hollywood 360 and Radio Rarities whenever you like. Visit Hollywood360radio.com.
Somebody's put them in jail.
Hollywood360radio.com.
Looking for the right bank to be your partner? Experience the difference at Southern States Bank. At Southern States Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your partners. Our team is deeply rooted in the community, and we take pride in providing personalized service. Come to Southern States Bank, where great service comes naturally. Visit us today or check us out at SouthernStatesBank.net. Southern States Bank, your community.
Can you make your ringtone? Can you make your ringtone? Can you mute your ring? Nope, I can't. Unless I got to go in there and check. I can go and check later today, but it just mutes the people that are on.
They're located at 752 North Lanier Avenue in Lynette, Alabama. Open 9 to 5 daily, and their phone number is 334-644-4306.
Shopping for insurance doesn't have to be stressful. I'm Christy, owner of Ellsworth Insurance, located here in Newnan, Georgia. We're an independent agency with access to multiple carriers for home, auto, life, health, and commercial insurance. We're your one-stop shop for your insurance needs. www.insurewithellsworth.com 770
There we go.
755-7053. We look forward to meeting you soon.
Yeah, I should be able to do that though, Patriot. Yeah, flashing. I don't know.
Locally owned and operated. Sun News can be found in your local businesses throughout the area. The best
The Hells Angels are bad guys, Pete. They're going after them Latino games because they're trying to keep them. Hey, you can't sell people. We can only sell people. We're the only ones that can sell drugs. I don't think any of that's true. I think that's a bunch of lies. I know there's gangs in those areas, but the Hells Angels ain't going after them. And Hells Angels are bad guys. They're not good guys. They're not heroes.
Same great taste, the best chicken around. Fish dinners, open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m.
They're not eating. Oh gosh, eating dogs. No, don't say that, Martin.
Best chicken around. So great. Fried chicken 31, Jackson Street, Suite A. Here in
A lot of people getting on the internet believing all that stuff about them Hells Angels. Martin, don't start that thing up about the dogs. They're not eating in Ohio. They're not eating them in Ohio. They're not good guys. They're like, hey, we got to sell stuff. Ducks. That's all false information, and it has not been. I've not been proven. I have contacted and found out it is false information. They're not stealing people's pets. Every culture has hillbillies, says Rand. Yeah, they pick on us, don't they, Randall? People from Georgia and Alabama. No, we eat chicken here. Oh, God. That's what they want to try to make us look bad. Dogs and cats are good. Don't knock it till you try it, said Pete. Okay, Pete, that's getting scary. False news are putting it out there. Yeah, clickbait people are putting that news out there. All right, welcome back in. Eat more possum. That's right. I'm into that. Oh, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you to our guest, the one, the only, Elizabeth Sorrells. Look, we're going to sit here and get imaginary conspiracy theories again. That's why Ooh's not on here today. He's like, I can't handle Ryan not telling me lies. You guys, you want to go sell out to the Scientologists that didn't lie to you? Because I say, hey, lie to them. Tell them what they want to hear. We'll take 50% of all the millions you make. Cop body cam got a woman eating a cat in the driveway. I'm from Ohio. Got friends down there. It's true. They're not. It's not. It can't be true. I don't see that. It's not true. The people that are saying that are just hillbilly rednecks that want everybody to be like that. It's not true. Newsmax lying to you. OAN's lying to you. Conspiracy theorists are lying to you. Stop it. The world's not that way. If it is, you're mentally handicapped if you think that. Not trying to hurt your feelings, but I'm telling the truth. Free food. The ducks. Now, I heard about the ducks. The Patriots said the ducks. I heard about the ducks. No Newsmax there. You said, thank God you don't have Newsmax there. They'd be telling you it was more than that. Hey, it's the ducks and it's the cats, it's the dogs, it's the pet alligators. The only question that somebody brought up yesterday was it Randall? Why do we got immigrants in this country? That was his question. He was like, I think a lot. I like to think better of folks than that. Thank you, Randall. Me too. But we're Southern. They think we're weird because we eat, chicken, and some of us eat chicken gizzards. Look, conspiracy theories are not good for you, brothers and sisters. What's a monkey plate? You got a monkey brains plate? Yeah. We got to stop with all these conspiracy theories. This is what's destroying our country. Why do you think that guy's kid shot up to school? Because he really believed his dad. He was psycho, and he really believed his dad thought the government was after him. And his dad was calling him all kind of weak names because that's what we think of the new generation. Sarah says, how do we, rabbit's normal, Patriot. That's not crazy. People are lying over there about it. It's not real. They're trying to do it because they just want to make points that are not real. Rabbit's normal. How do you know how people from other countries act and what they do? I have an open mind. If their culture is like that, then who knows? I do know that it's not going on, and I do know that people are only believing that because they want to make out like that's what's going to happen and that's what's going on. People want conspiracy theories to be real, and they're not. No conspiracy theory has been proven true at all, except for JFK. So, and eating rabbit's normal. Eating duck is normal. And New York being crazy is normal. It was one guy eating a duck on a cement fountain. A duck. And that, I mean, if it wasn't cooked, that's weird, but Patriot, that's weird if it's not cooked, but duck and rabbit and all that, and deer is food. Easy said, next, we're going to become zombies eat brains. People will believe anything they see on TV and the internet. Those people are like, we got millions of followers, so he's got to be telling the truth. New York being crazy is normal, huh? Ryan's been hey, Randall said that earlier. I believe Randall. And I've been through New York, so always believe my brothers from the South. Because we're always the ones attacked by eating the weird food. Yeah, we don't eat dogs and cats over here. But yeah, it's not real. I mean, I know people want it to be real so that things don't sound crazy, but it is crazy. It's not real. Don't eat those hot dogs though. I don't really like those hot dogs all that much after what you said, Patriot. I'm just telling you guys, please stop with watching the conspiracy theorists and listening to people lie to you that just are so mad because they got fear over faith. This is what I didn't want to get into, but I guess I got to get into it. They got fear over faith instead of faith over anything else. And their fear is some imaginary stuff. We just told a story about a woman that was murdered by someone in her community, like in a horror movie. And then now we're going to turn around because we're mad about the open borders, which shouldn't be open. They should be shut. We're going to sit here and say that all these other people are doing things that are real because we want to say it's real. And if they were eating it, say they were eating, but it was a duck. Say they were eating dogs and cats. The only thing is some of the stuff we do is weird too. We worship politicians. Too many people come from other countries coming through the border. Now, the border should be checked, and they are having those. We are having problems there, but I'm not worried about the so-called fake killing the dogs and the cats. I'm more worried about the little old girl that was killed at Georgia and up there in Athens, Georgia. That's what I'm more worried about. That was killed by a, convicted, I don't know what you would call him, piece of you know what. And they killed that girl. Me too. I worship God and Jesus alone, period. That's just me and you, Patriot. But other people are mad when you don't agree with them. I'm just saying that it's an idol worship if you're going to really get into it for something that's false. That's idol worship. And that could be anything from a person to conspiracy theories. That's why Who came off yesterday. He was mad because I went and looked up what he said. It was nothing but a bunch of lies. Well, you want to bring up that? That was the worst debate ever. Neither one of them did good. So nobody won. Nobody was on one side. Dave Muir, the ABC guy, is a Republican. It was the worst debate ever. They just didn't do right. The moderators were like, hey, do you like hamburgers? And the candidates were like, well, let's talk about ducks. That's how it went. So that's another conspiracy theory sister shared, that it was Trump against 3. You guys Trump will never do anything wrong, will he? Never do anything wrong in your eyes, will he? He'll never do anything wrong in your eyes, will he? Oh my God. He lied about the dogs and the cats being killed. That was a lie. So this is our land. No more people come in here. This is Native American land. Exactly. She might be. You never know. Patriot. I'm not going to say she isn't. I don't agree with her either. She's still not. See, there you go, Randall. Thank you for being normal about it, though. He said, she's still not the one option for me. There you go. See, that's how Alabama people think and Georgia people think. It's just about the policies. It was not 3 against 1 because David Muir, I don't care what anybody says. People are going to spread all kinds of lies just to make you feel good about yourself. David Muir is a Republican. He kept calling Trump president, Mr. President. The other girl with him wouldn't call him Mr. President. We're going to utilize anything because they both look bad. So since they both look bad, it had to be 3 against 1. It's not true. The Stuck story got blew up. Right, Patriot? Eight of them. So there you go. We're just going to sit here. It's going to be, like I said, he can't do no wrong, can he? He can't do anything wrong. Yeah, John Kennedy might have said it. Well, who's John Kennedy? John F. Kennedy Jr.? He might have said it, but that don't mean it's true. I can sit here and say that there's sun in the sky right now when it's raining. That don't mean it's true. I'm trying not to think of her having any chance right now, but I'm trying not to. You're thinking right. It was not 3 against 1, and everybody that believes that needs to go back and reevaluate themselves. He said it because he wants to make it look like supposedly Trump looked bad. I don't know why you would think that. I just thought the whole thing was a terrible situation because they didn't answer any questions that we needed to hear. It had nothing to do with one person getting angry or one person poking the bear or whatever. It had nothing to do with that. All she did was poke the bear over and over. I didn't hear anything come out of her. And all he did was get mad at her. And the only thing that I was probably maybe see for was they didn't keep it in line like they should have. Because I can be honest with you, after that, it was a whole debacle. I'm like Randall. I'm like, I just can't see that. The reason they never fact checked her because she never had any facts. She never did. I'm a rhino. No, a rhino is people that worship. I don't worship a man. I worship God. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm smart enough to know that that I'm not going to listen to a bunch of con men lie to me. They never fact checked her because she didn't have any facts, Patriot. All right, see you guys later. Carrie Lake ain't somebody to listen to. Carrie Lake lies. You can't, just because they said it don't mean it's true. Just because they're on your side don't mean they're all telling the truth. People want to get off now mad at me because I won't tell them that it's all right, that Trump's the greatest thing in the world and everybody else isn't. Come on, guys. You got more sense than that. At least I know Randall does and Patriot does. Look, I know you guys. You can't listen. Now, Christy Nome, she can say what she wants. She's a good girl. But you can't always listen to everybody. They all lie. No, they don't. They all tell the truth, Patriot. Not one politician has ever lied. Not one politician has ever lied. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, Randall. I don't want Martin to get mad and leave because I won't. But the thing about it is, that's the problem. You keep listening to people that's just on your side and you think they're the only good people. No, they all lie. They all do things. They all tell untruths. The big thing it was a debacle. It wasn't even a debate. She kept irritating him. He didn't like it that a woman was running against him, and that's the truth. And she kept on being a little smart aleck. That's what happened. There is never any time you should, as a child of God, make a race hate another race. That's why we say faith over. Never let your fear hate others. Love is Jesus and God. Yep, you're supposed to do that, but nobody is doing that. Yeah. If you believe politicians, then you believe monkey can talk. Oh, I keep missing you like, oh, no. No, I'm misleading you like Fox News and Newsmax and lying to you and telling you that. If you don't vote Donald Trump, you're going to go to hell. And if you don't like him, you're evil. Oh, God. This is what's wrong with most of the society. Please, I don't have no MSNBC. I just don't want to be like Newsmax, a bunch of losers sitting in my mom's basement lying to a bunch of cult members. And God's not going to sit here and bless you for lying. Oh my God. Randall's messing with me. I know he is. He always does. Yes, their news is extreme. People believe that you sit there and said something about a duck. You sit there and said about a. No, the people that need them straitjackets, Randall's messing with me, but the people that need straitjackets are the people that think that there's going to be a war and there's going to be violence. And if this guy don't go in, I'm going to fight and I'm godly. And God's like, dude, I don't even know you. God don't know any of them. He don't know any of them. Now, I know Randall don't believe, but that's cool. But yeah. But you see, I'm not arguing about her. You can't bring a point up about him except for what somebody else has not done. When somebody says, hey, I don't like her policy, she hadn't done anything, that's fine. But the problem we have here is every time Trump looks bad, it's everybody else's fault. And people don't want to hear that. They just want to make out like they're good and they want to fight and argue about it. And nobody's taking up for her because she didn't have any facts. All she did was act like an idiot and poke the bear. Which I didn't get anything out of her. And people want to get this imaginary conspiracy theory that they know things. I've been doing this for 25 years. Okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm not just sitting in my mom's basement reading imaginary conspiracy theories. You don't say that, Patriot, but a lot of other people say that he's always right. I can't say, if I get attacked for saying something against him, I think it's retarded. I think it's retarded to attack somebody who don't like him. And and that's other people, but I think it's retarded to attack somebody who's just trying to make a point and say that they're like, and I'm not saying you're doing that, Patriot, but there's people that will do that will attack people if you tell them that what he said was not true. Because he said a lot of untruths the other night. And all she did was act like a cackling hen. That's the two choices we have. The reason she's brain dead, Randall, she don't know what she's doing. She was a last minute draw in there. Do you think most vice presidents really know what they're doing? But that's all she did. But if I say something that he did something wrong, I don't need to be said, oh, I sound like this over here. I'm not like Joe Flo or whatever his name is on MSNBC. He's an idiot. God is in control. That's right. The debate was a mess because it was a total mess. But I'm just saying that when I point things out, I'm doing it as a real news person, 25 years in this business. I'm not pointing it out because I'm on somebody's side or against somebody. And I'm pointing the truth out. But anytime, I feel like, I'll be honest, I feel like I can't say real news stories about these politicians because it turns into like Bali want to come in and start pointing things out on both sides and going, and it's his feelings, that's fine, but I don't want to get into arguments. That's why I feel like I can't report on all this stuff that needs to be reported on. Because if I say, well, it's a lie, nobody's eating dogs and cats, people are defending it just because he said it. Not you, Patriot, because you said it was a duck, but I'm just saying. Yeah, well, why didn't we tell him that when she was getting under his skin? Now it's all right for him to get mad and everything. See, that's my problem. There's also guys. It's not dogs, it's ducks. I know, but they're saying pets, dogs and cats. That's what was said the other night. Me and you both said ducks, but you got other people that's totally believing that. And if I said, hey, that was not a real news story, just like the Hells Angels are not good guys going to help out Colorado, we just all of a sudden we think everybody's good. And it's fear over faith instead of faith over fear. And people don't want to hear that because they want, and this is to the believers. To the non-believers, I can't tell them anything. They can have their non-belief about it. Of course, they're going to say what they're going to say. And I got one of them here that he doesn't do that much hatred, and he's a non-believer. And that's Randall. And so, but like I said, guys, if I bring up a news story and I say it's not true and I didn't research it, I researched it. Don't cast your, yep. If Angel's sisters live there, I could believe that scenario. Thank you, Randall. Me too. But we're the only ones that are going to sit and think it out without worrying about conspiracy theories. Pig bacon or turkey bacon. Either is good to me, Pete. But people just think it's not right for us to discuss it. And I appreciate Randall and I appreciate Patriot and a few other people who want to discuss things, because that's how people learn. But people that just really get mad because you don't believe what they got to say. I know somebody here and they said it's true. That don't mean it's true. Just because somebody says something don't mean it's true. When I go and research it, and I've been doing this 25 years, and I know they're just doing it because they're one-sided, doesn't mean it's true. So, at least, and then Patriots, the one that kept bringing up yesterday, hey, it was ducks. Nope, nobody wanted to hear that. Well, other politicians, if they are for Trump or if they're in his party, they're going to say that, Cher. That Dave Muir is a Republican. He's a Republican voter. He is a Trump supporter. He voted for him the last 2 times, and possibly the guy's going to vote for him again. I know for a fact he is. And the whole 3-on-1 thing is just people feeling bad because the debate looked crappy, because the one in July looked good. It actually did. Even with Biden walking off the stage and going to find ice cream in the next town, it still looked better than the other one the other night. Even though Biden walked out of his nursing home and to go to it, it still looked better than the other night's debate. And it's just what it is. Well, I've been living in this world for 50-something years, and I've never, ever believed in a bunch of flat earth stuff and all that kind of stuff. God bless America. God is going to save our republic. I don't think we got anything to worry about. Biden was wearing a Trump hat. Was that real? He might be trying to tell you something. Oh, I was making a joke about the last debate where he wasn't there mentally, Randall? I just said he was, even with him walking over here, it still was a better debate between him and Trump than the last one. So that was real. Was he making a joke about it, or was he making fun of it? Was that what he was doing? Because you know he's not all there anyway, but. Nah, I didn't say I was going to buy anybody ice cream. You only see him shuffle. Roll Tide Randall. Well, look, I'm gonna tell you guys. I got some important things I got to get done here to send over today, but I wanna ask you guys if you heard this mess. Okay, this is what I want to hear. I want to hear where, because I know it's coming from the same stuff. Have you heard the mess I'm about to ask you? That the black community is having a secret meeting about making all the white people pay them back restitution for slavery. Have you heard that conspiracy theory? And if anybody says, no, we haven't, good, I'm glad it's not real then. That all the black people had a secret organization together? Really? We got a screwed up society. That if we believe all this stuff, we got a screwed up society. We got a screwed up society. Whoever's saying that needs to be taken off the air. For sure. That's not news. That's lies. That all the black people. I'm gonna ask some black people I know. I'm gonna go ask them right now. Are you guys in a secret organization trying to take my poor asses, my poor ass who's buying a Sam's Club's money from me? No theories have ever come true. It only comes true when people smoke too much. People think the earth is flat. It's not. Now that I might look up Google blood clot coroners. Now that might be real. So all the African American people out there, Shane, who comes on my show, all the people who buy advertising for me, they're in a secret group with all other black people trying to come together one day to make us all, the white people, pay them restitution for slavery. California is going to do it as a no. Okay, thank you, Patriot. I appreciate that. That's what I thought. I knew that was somebody smoking too. They ain't smoking the right pot, Patriot. They got some fentanyl in it or something. I've seen Dirty Harry. That's all kind of drug dealers and stuff. Drug dealers are real. But people make money off of drugs. People make money off of doing things. But what you're talking about is most people you know think it's stupid because of the state, like California, going to do that. I'm talking about there's a theory out there that they got a secret organization together and they're going to make you, me, Randall, and all of us pay. That QAnon stuff, man, is crazy. That's why that poor girl got killed going into the Capitol. Somebody got in that poor girl's mind. That Babbitt girl. Mm-mm. because they're getting fearing conservatives. They're God-fearing conservatives. Who's God-fearing? Oh, the ones yeah. Well, that's what I can't believe that what you just told me makes sense, Patriot. They wouldn't believe that. It's taught in college. They're teaching that in college. What college are they teaching that in? They didn't teach that when I went. They didn't tell us that was going to happen. They didn't sit there in class and tell me that I was going to have to pay them. Because I'd have been like, look, I ain't got anything. You see that beat up truck I'm driving out there to college? See, this is more conspiracy stuff out there. Oh, you went back to college. UMC's teaching that? Are they saying that you, the poor man, say you, the poor man? And I'm not saying you're poor, Patriot, but just say you, the poor white man. Because I know you're not white either. Just say you, the poor white man. That's the one they're going to make pay? You have a better day. You too, Randall. Thank you for your responses, brother. I got to get ready to go too because I got some things I got to do. I have to check into that more. I appreciate you letting me know, Randall. I mean, not Randall, but Patriot about this college, what they're teaching in college. Okay. Well, I got to go. Patriot, you and Randall will be the only ones come on more. See you.